with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's presentation of the United States Auto Club. It is one of the absolute toughest weeks in outdoor midget racing, and we will have a stacked field here tonight. Drake, looking through the pits already, not only do we have midgets, we have sprint cars, and this is almost like a warm-up for the guys that are going to be coming back through here for Indiana Sprint Week in the month of July.
Yeah, I know there's a few teams that tow out here just to kind of get, like you said, a tune-up for Indiana Sprint Week, running the sprint car division. I know that's why a lot of people love this week. Not only do you get the best midget racing in the world, in my opinion, but you also get sprint cars every single night too. But Brian, you mentioned it too, a lot of good cars in the pit area here when it comes to the NOS Energy Drink USAC National Midget Championship. Easily one of my favorite weeks of the year, no question.
A couple of drivers you had the chance to talk to earlier. One of them, Cale Drake, coming off of a PowerEye win this past weekend up in Macon and getting paired up with RMS, and it did not take long at all for them to really start to mesh and make it to victory lane, showing there with Lacey turning the wrenches on that thing, Cale behind the wheel, and has success coming into this event.
Yeah, of course, he is the defending winner not only of Indiana Midget Week, but also the race here at Circle City Raceway. And I think admittedly they didn't get off to the fastest start they were hoping to down at Kokomo, but they had a bunch of run of PowerEye races, like you mentioned, Brian, able to get that win at Macon. So they've got a lot of good speed and, more importantly, momentum. We talk about it, it doesn't matter what form of racing it is, momentum is important, especially when you come into the toughest week of midget racing.
It definitely is. They've got that momentum on their side. Let's see what he had to say.
Cale Drake comes into the 2026 Indiana Midget Week as your defending champion. Not only that, but he won the opener here at Circle City Raceway last year. So, Cale, I know that was such a big achievement for you so early on in your career, but what's the feeling like rolling into the next Indiana Midget Week being the defending champion?
Yeah, I feel like there might be a little bit of pressure, but you know, pressure's a privilege. So just super grateful to be in this position, and excited to get back after it here at Circle City. I've only ran the midget here once, with 2 years ago raining out. So you never know what you're going to get, and with a little bit of weather, it might shape up to be a different racetrack, but might be something right up our alley.
One thing that we touched on in our first weekend of the season, new pairing between you and RMS Racing. Just talk about that a little bit. And it's just not the USAC stuff you guys have been focusing on. You've been guys racing a lot with a lot of other series.
Yeah, I got the opportunity right before Chili Bowl to make the move over here to RMS Racing, and it's been great getting to work with them. They've got, you know, the nicest stuff in the pit area, or at least just as nice as anyone else's, and I feel like we've really started to mesh well together, and we keep learning each night we get out, and you know, seem to pick up some speed. So that's really good and really important to me. There's a lot that can happen when you start working with the new team, and it's not always smooth at first, but we've been off to a pretty fair start, I'd say, and picking up our first win as a team last weekend is really good for us and gives us a lot of confidence coming into this week.
That brings me to my next question about the confidence level and the momentum that you have going. You just won with PowerEye at Macon last week, currently leading those series points. How big is that headed into the biggest stretch of USAC midget racing on the calendar?
Yeah, it's huge. You really don't know where your pace is going to shape up when you get up against all the veterans that are racing in USAC, but to have speed in that series really shows that you've got something, and you at least know how to win races. So we know that we can put ourselves in position. We just have to execute every time we get out on the racetrack, and you know, put the whole night together. It's a little bit different of a format, so you can get yourself buried early, but as long as we go out there and do our jobs and show speed each night, we should be in position.
Cale Drake and RMS Racing, very potent pairing here in Indiana Midget Week 2026. Cale Drake looking to go back-to-back in the Indiana Midget Week Championship.
Interesting to see how Cale does this week. Another driver you had a chance to talk to, unfortunately not full-time this season, and that's Cannon McIntosh. And you had a chance to ask what was going on there, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been racing. He's already gotten a couple of micro wins out of Millbridge, so he's been behind the wheel, unfortunately just not able to get full-time in a midget this season.
Yeah, and we've seen him in years past run wing sprint cars. As a matter of fact, we've seen him on the USAC trail already this year, just on the sprint car side of things, where he ran a weekend in Indiana for KO Motorsports. And I know a lot of people were asking that question when we were at Kokomo for the Grand Prix, why wasn't the defending champion there? We'll kind of let Cannon explain that a little bit better, but one thing that I really took away from this interview that you're going to hear in a second, and I know a lot of people in all forms of racing preach this too, you got to be at the racetrack to stay relevant, and that's kind of part of what this week is about for Cannon. Of course, he's won a lot of big races, Brian. I think of the BC 39, he's won that twice. He's won a bunch of Chili Bowl prelim nights, but he has not had an Indiana Midget Week title. He's only actually won one race in Indiana Midget Week history, which is wild to me. So I think Cannon's definitely going to try to rewrite the history books this week.
Well, let's hear what his answer was.
Last year's national champion is back. Cannon McIntosh returns to the NOS Energy Drink USAC National Midget Championship here for Indiana Midget Week. Of course, we were missing you out at Kokomo, Cannon, so what was the reason that you weren't able to make it to the season opener?
Yeah, just limited schedule for me this year. We kind of set up a part-time schedule with KKM, and we wanted to hit all the big events at least, so Midget Week obviously being the first, and plan to be at BC and West Coast as well. So, yeah, just a little bit of a part-time. Obviously, racing's expensive, so finding partners and sponsors is never easy. So, yeah, just fortunate to be here this week with you guys, and look forward to a good week, and hopefully we can just be at our best every night.
I mentioned the national championship last year. Of course, you won titles with the now defunct Extreme Series and Power Eye as well. But Indiana Midget Week is seemingly the one big thing that you're missing. What would it mean to get an Indiana Midget Week title this week?
It'd mean a lot for me. It's always been a week I've just never had things go my way. Whether it's mistakes by me or just small things happening. Last year here, the first race out, we're running decent at the start of the race, and a car gets upside down in front of us and junks the chassis, right away. So, and that happens, and we only ran 3 races last week. You're pretty much immediately eliminated. So, yeah, we just have to, I guess, keep our noses clean and just try to keep this thing up front all week. It's a long week and a lot can happen. So you just can't take yourself out of it by doing something stupid or, trying to win when you have a third-place car and crashing yourself. So, yeah, just takes all things going right, and I think I have a good feeling about it this week.
You mentioned your part-time schedule on the midget side of things, and earlier this year we saw you with the USAC National Sprint Cars. We've seen you out west with NARC 410 and running other Wing 410 sprint car events. Are those things on the horizon for you this well? Outside of the midgets, what are you looking at running here for the rest of 2026?
Yeah, obviously we'd love to run more Wing sprint car stuff. Just comes down to finding opportunities and people that are willing to put you in the race car and trust in your abilities. So, yeah, I've just kind of been waiting around. It's not going to come to you, but yeah, just like this week here, just showing up. Just hope to come out and do my best and yeah, just keep my name out there. It's hard for people to really pick you out when you're not racing and you're not staying relevant. So it's nice to be back at the racetrack. I think it helps me a little bit. I'm just looking forward to going racing this week and just having the opportunity.
Cannon's won the BC 39 twice. He's won some big races in his career, but still after that first Midget Week title here in 2026.
Thank you very much, and again, welcome to tonight's presentation of the United States Auto Club featuring the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. As we said, it is night number 1 of Indiana Midget Week. 6 straight nights of racing. Tomorrow, as we look ahead on the schedule for this coming week, we'll head down the road to Paragon, Indiana. Always a fun stop for both USAC National Midgets and Sprint Cars. Lincoln Park Speedway in beautiful downtown Putnamville will follow that on June 11th. June 12th, we head down to the red clay of the Bloomington Speedway, the class track at Tri-State Speedway on Saturday, and it all wraps up at Kokomo on Sunday. Monday off, and we head to Pennsylvania and New Jersey for Yokohama Tire Eastern Storm, presented by Levan Machine and Truck Equipment. All kicks off at Grandview 1 week from today. Bridgeport the following night, Big Diamond, Williams Grove, Port Royal with a double shot of USAC action. USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship as well as the Silver Crown Division on track on June 20th, and that wraps up at Action Track USA. Of course, you can see this in the entire lineup of events when you go online to usacracing.com. If you have a major way down Merchandise Row, make sure you swing by and pick up a complimentary can of NOS Energy Drink. High-performance racing demands high-performance energy. That's NOS Energy, fueling USAC's fastest drivers and fans all season long. Sprint cars right now making their way out to the Speedway. They will be on the card all week along with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Quick check to the My Race Pass app shows 18 non-wing 410 sprint cars in the pits. 28 drivers checking in with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. That'll give us 4 flights of Dirt Draft Hot Laps, as well as 4 heat races coming up a little bit later on. Speaking of Dirt Draft, if you have not downloaded that yet, make sure and do it now. It is free to download both the Apple and Android market. They have the Pro League, the Veteran League, and the Rookie League that you can compete in. There's also predictive contests. And, of course, every new subscriber and reactivating subscriber get that 25% off gift card to the Hoosier Tire online merchandise store. As always, there's one to watch, and we go to Drake.
Well, Brian, like you said, we always have Dirt Draft Drivey Driver here on the USAC on FloRacing broadcast. Tonight, Justin Grant gets to go up against Jacob Boxell. We'll start off with Justin Grant. He's on the left-hand side of your screen at USAC Driver 1. That's in the pro lobby. Of course, Dirt Draft introducing different lobbies here in 2026. So if you want to play against your favorite USAC drivers, reminder that you need to enter in the pro lobby, but you got to hurry because that locks at the start of Lauren Lab qualifying. Anyway, back to Justin Grant's lineup. He has Kevin Thomas Jr., Logan Seavey, Hayden Reinbold, Brecken Reese, and Mac Leopard. Jacob Boxell, his opposition at USAC Driver 2. He's chosen Kevin Thomas Jr. himself, Gunnar Sitzer, Adam Taylor, and Mac Leopard. Once again, he is at USAC Driver 2 in the pro public lobby with our friends at Dirt Draft for night number 1 of Indiana Midget Week.
Thank you very much. Letting the sprint cars come out and roll in the racing surface. They enter on the access road, then enter onto the back straightaway. The 13P joining us tonight in 410 sprint car competition. Cameron LaRose out of Phoenix, Arizona. The Avante one is a doors entry. The 11 is Jack Hoyer here on the front straightaway, the intact entry. The Baldwin Fox Racing number 5 tonight. Jason Turnbull behind the wheel of that machine. The 9Z, Zach Pretorius, making his way into turn number 1. The Don's Machine Shop, number 17. The driver coming to us out of the state of Wisconsin. Bryce Andrews out of Kenosha. The Physical Medicine Consultants, number 47 tonight. The driver out of Anaheim, California. That is Jake Swanson. Swanson behind the wheel, the number 47. Cameron LaRose, we thought, was going to be in action this past weekend. Unfortunately, not the case. As the week of midgets is upon us for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. So hot laps coming up for the sprint cars here in just a moment. Mark it on your calendars. Kokomo Speedway SmackDown going to be coming up August 27th, 28th, and 29th. And that means the Super SmackDown draw is available and open. You can buy a lap for $1,000. The leader gets $500 of that. The other half going into the lottery. Now it's $20,000 overall to the leaders and $20,000 into the draw. It's a 1 in 40 chance to win. You can buy your lap by calling 779-230-1310 or smackdowntix@gmail.com. Sprint cars coming out and finishing in the racing surface before we go into Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Of course, all of this week, like every night of racing action in USAC National Competition, is available on FloRacing. Tonight, though, also being shown on the Amazon Prime app. And we've talked about it the few times we've been on Amazon Prime. It's a really cool partnership between FloRacing and Amazon Prime to where they're able to showcase and highlight different series, tracks, and organizations that are all involved with the Flo Sports family. So you'll catch the United States Auto Club, High Limit, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Bowman Gray, and more. And if you want to find out what's coming up, just go to the Amazon Prime app and search FloRacing. And that'll give you the past events and also the upcoming events over the next week or so. And you'll be able to find out what is going to be live on the Amazon Prime app. Even better, it is no extra charge. If you already pay for Amazon Prime, it is included. So make sure and check that out. And again, want to thank FloRacing and Amazon Prime for the partnership and helping to bring racing to the masses, whether it is with United States Auto Club, High Limit, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and more. course, a lot of drivers on track this week in sprint car competition, doing so in preparation for Indiana Sprint Week. That'll be here before you know it in the month of July. The 39th running of the USAC NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week, presented by K&N Filters, kicks off at the dirt track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That'll be on Thursday, July 23rd. Lincoln Park Speedway to follow that. Kokomo, Lawrenceburg, Circle City back here on July 27th. Paragon on July 29th. The Terre Haute Action Track on July 30th. Bloomington on July 31st. And it all wraps up at the Class Track at Tri-State Speedway in Hopstadt, Indiana. So make sure and mark that on the calendar in the closing days of the month of July and to kick off the month of August. We've got the 39th running of the USAC NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week, presented by K&N Filters. Sprint car is going to come around to hot lap their session number 1. So letting the drivers buzz the track a little bit before we go into qualifying. Drivers will qualify within their hot lap group, representing their heat race group a little bit later on. Green flag flies at qualifying session number 1 for your Circle City non-wing sprint cars. Coming to a stop over turn number 3. That is the 17 of Bryce Andrews. Going to bring this qualifying session under yellow flag conditions. 3 drivers did come around to complete a lap. So Cameron LaRose right now with the quickest lap time, 13.785. Jack Hoyer, 13.916. And James Turnbull was the 3rd driver to come around and complete his qualifying lap at 13.316. So getting the 17 pointed back in the right direction. Officials discussing when they will go back to green. They'll go back green on the 9 of Zach Pretorius. So Bryce Andrews, Zach Pretorius, and Jake Swanson right now without times. So once the 9 makes his way by here, they'll start into another warm-up lap. They'll go green the next time off of turn number 4. Everybody getting their first lap in, working lap number 2. We'll see what comes away with a quick qualifying time here for drivers that'll find themselves in heat race number 1. So far, Jake Swanson at the top of the boards, a 12.646. Pretorius going to come up, and he'll take that time away here with a 12.636. A little bit better by 0.010 seconds. So Pretorius and the beast number 9Z goes to the top of the charts here in group qualifying session number 1 for your non-wing sprint cars, a 12.636. Jake Swanson, a 12.646. Cameron LaRose, a 12.738. James Turnbull, a 13.030. Jack Hoyer, 13.169. And Bryce Andrews, 13.303. So qualifying group number 1 in the books. Qualifying group number 2 will begin to wheel its way out to the Circle City Raceway. Talked about earlier, a couple of drivers making the trip this week. in order to prepare to and get ready for Indiana Sprint Week coming up at the end of July. A couple of those drivers making their way out onto the speedway right now. J.R. Bonesteel, one of those drivers, coming to us out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, the Zero machine. Going to roll out onto the speedway, exiting at the top of turn number 4 right now. Chance Crum on speedway out of Snohomish, Washington in the 83C. Rylan Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana in the 1. Jaden Rogers in the Beasley's Railcar Repair number 14 at the Worthington also on track. Bo Brandon at Elwood, Indiana, the 21B. And Ricky Lewis out of Oxnard, California, the Physical Medicine Consultants, Mesilla Valley Transportation number 41. Horn about to sound down in the pit area for the drivers of the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship to make their way into the staging lane. Again, if you're just joining us on the FloRacing broadcast or on the Amazon Prime broadcast, 28 drivers checking in for night number 1 of USAC Indiana Midget Week. Looking through the entry list for the midgets: Ohio, Oklahoma, Indiana, Texas, Alabama, Arizona, North Carolina, Colorado, the state of Florida, Pennsylvania, the U.S., and the United Kingdom. All going to be represented here tonight. Bonesteel on track. Team planning on leaving that equipment up here in the state of Indiana. They'll start to travel back and forth. That car formerly owned by Josh Hodges. Hodges Automotive, him and his father, Shane Cottle, recently behind the wheel of that machine. Time will start to come in. Jaden Rogers, 12:4:21 so far as the quickest driver on track. Checkered flag for qualifying group number 2, Jaden Rogers. Quickest at a 12:4:21. Bo Brandon, a 12:4:50. Rylan Gray, a 12:4:72. Chance Crum, a 12:4:75. And a 13:8:63 for J.R. Bonesteel. So Group 2 making its way back down to the pit area. Group number 3 going to be in the rollout. Logan Prickett out of Shelbyville, Indiana, the 37, parades out onto the speedway. He'll be followed by Noah Whitehouse out of Greenfield, Indiana, the number 21. The 66, Caleb Stelzick out of the Duke City of Albuquerque, New Mexico, another driver. Looking to get ready to roll in Indiana Sprint Week a little bit later on. Driver coming to us out of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Nathan Schmee in the 42AU. Trey Osborne, good to see him back on track. The driver to Columbus, Indiana. The Hidden Hoof Hollow Farms number 6T. And the Drew Fab number 44. Todd Hobson out of Clyde, Victoria, Australia, has also made his way out onto the speedway. And quick update, if you are following along on the My Race Pass app, they are trying to restore connection to the live timing and scoring. Technology is great until technology does not work, so that's what they're dealing with right now. I think Windows had an update. So the Boiler Up Racing Club number 37 firing down the front straightaway. Last time we saw Trey Osborne on track in USAC competition was night number 1 of the Avante Windows and Doors Corn Belt Clash. Unfortunately, mechanical problems taking him out of competition the rest of the weekend. So taking a step back here. Absent from Red Hill last week, so he'll regroup, get things going, roll again, and give it another shot. Right now, looking to follow the sprint cars all week here as they tag along with the USAC NOS Energy during Midget National Championship during Indiana Midget Week. As we go back to green here in qualifying, this is group number 3 for your wingless sprint car division. Caleb Stelzick going to the top early here, 12.375 for the New Mexico racer. Hodgson currently second, quick at 12.475. Second time around begins. Wave of the white about to become the wave of the checkered here in sprint car qualifying. We'll see how things pan out here. Prickett goes to the top at 12.367. Caleb Stelzick answers, says, nope, that's mine, 12.288. Prickett at 12.367. Hobson, a 12.415. Whitehouse, a 12.573. And Schmee at a 13.292. So with that, Dirt Drive Top Lap session number 1 for the USAC NOS Energy during Midget National Championship will begin to make its way out onto the racing surface. K1 Race Gear is proud to be one of the few companies to outfit any driver from kids at K1 Speed to USAC champions. More K1 Race Gear enjoying their list of champions today. Learn more at K1RaceGear.com. K1 provides the safety uniforms for our infield workers with the United States Auto Club. Kel Drake going to fire into the back straightaway. The driver to Collinsville, Oklahoma. Driver of the RMS EnviroFab. Guest performance, Rush Race Gear number 4. He'll be followed by the 67K of Colton Robinson out of Titusville, Florida. The Precise Tooling Solution, Speedway Total Link Chassis, KKM Kerbigajanian, number 67K. The 20Q on track, that is Brecken Reese here on the front straightway out of Canyon, Texas. The Sierra Towing and Crushing, Dumas Iron and Metals, Speedway Total Link Chassis, number 20Q. The 43 coming off of a win this past weekend in sprint car competition at the Bloomington Speedway. The Midwest 2 Mills, the cure starts now. Stanton SR 11 Link Chassis number 43. That is Gunnar Setzer in the number 43. The 98K, Brandon Carr, the driver to Sheffield, United Kingdom. Driver of the Dave Davidson Scrap Metal, Mobile 1 Toyota Curb Records number 98K. And the 35. Make that 45, Bradley Cox of Black Forest, Colorado, driving the Red Line Performance Roofing, REM Motorsports Race Engine Components. Insane Graphics, number 45, as we are green in Dirt Drive Hot Lap session number 1. Brecken Reese, quickest so far, 12.70. Colton Robinson, 12.767. Gunnar Setzer, a 12.776. Trevor Klein, a 12.779. Kel Drake, a 12.831. Brandon Carr, a 12.992. And Bradley Cox, a 13.192 second lap. Look at the points coming into tonight's racing action. Kicking things off up at Kokomo a few weeks ago, and Jacob Denny coming out with a points lead over Kevin Thomas Jr. Justin Grant currently sitting third in points. Jacob Boxell in fourth with Zach Weigel running at your top 5. Gavin Miller, Kel Drake, Gunnar Setzer, Hayden Reinbold, and Colton Robinson currently make up the top 10. Of course, you can see the entire rundown of both driver and entrant standings when you go online to USACracing.com. The Parallax Group offers world-class power supply products to the RV industry. Parallax Group delivers high-quality assembly and manufacturing solutions in North America that exceed client expectation, focusing on quality and efficiency to ensure their products lead the industry. Go to the ParallaxGroupInc.com for more information. Parallax Group bringing you a Passing Master bonus this week of $500. Every time drivers are on track, they will accrue points. And the driver that advances the most position at the close of Indiana Midget Week will get a $500 bonus. Of course, the season-long Passing Master, brought to you by Parallax, is a $2,500 bonus, and that counts during a feature competition. Second flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps of 4 out to the Speedway. Justin Grant here on the front straightaway out of Ione, California. Driving the NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Mobile One Toyota Racing Development, CB Industries, number 87. Behind him, Carter Sarf out of Mason City, Illinois. The Shark behind the wheel of the Petfley and Hinshaw Wrecker Service. Speedway Toyota Ripper Chassis. Factory 71, Paul May Motorsports, number 71M. Over into turn number 2, he's out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. The Second Opinion Auto, H&H Automotive Machine, Link Chassis, Stanton SR11 Elite Poles, MPV Express, number 2 Indy. That is Matt Sherrill. Matt Sherrill in the Dan and Patricia Harris owned number 2 Indy. The 57 is Logan Seavey on the back straightaway. He's out of Sutter, California, driving the Indy Power Sports Desnudos Organic Tequila, Prime 47, Drop Light number 57. As the field will begin to wind up, the 40D also on track. Drake Edwards out of Peoria, Arizona, driving the great company Rex Road Racing, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis number 40. And the 17X, that is Kyle Jones out of Kennedale, Texas. The England Machine and Tool, Yates Del Spike, High Performance Lubricants number 7, making his way onto the back straightaway. Final driver to tell you about in 1, Zach Weigel out of Belpre, Ohio, the Odell Motorsports, Pro Marine Easy Dock, Odell Trucking, and Deaton's Waterfront Services, number 1. Justin Grant goes to the top here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. So the 12.433, the lap record is a 12.385. So even in Hot Laps, getting very, very close to the record held by Kevin Thomas Jr., established on June 5th, 2023. Logan Seavey at 12.560, Zach Weigel a 12.561, Carter Sarf at 12.662, and Brecken Reese now fifth quick at a 12.70. Colton Robinson, Gunnar Setzer, Trevor Klein, Drake Edwards, and Kel Drake make up the top 10. Third group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps out to the Speedway. It'll be led by Jacob Boxell at Zanesville, Indiana. He rolls over in turn number 2 right now in the middle of 1 Performance Products, Acro Seal, Acro Lube, Advanced Racing Suspensions, shopangreduct.com, number 54. Sitting in behind him is the 40L. That's Mac Leopard out of Beaver Creek, Ohio, the great company Mulch Express of Wisconsin. Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis, McDermott Plumbing, Chase McDermott owned, number 40. Caution lights will come on. Adam Taylor to Wheatfield, Indiana. The Horizon Carpentry, Mungo Crane, Mac Electric, 84 Lumber, Martin One Source, number 7T. Going to get the push down the back straightaway. And the 14 on track, that is Kevin Thomas Jr. to Coleman, Alabama. The Purple Heart Foundation, Metalloid 1, Acro Seal, NW Manufacturing, Stanton Link Chassis, number 14. Jacob Denny out of Galloway, Ohio, joins us tonight. The JBL Audio TRD Mobile 1 KKM Kerbigajanian Speedway Total Link Chassis number 67. And the 81G. As we go on board with Jacob Denny, he'll carry our P1 Performance Australia onboard camera tonight. The driver rolling behind him is the 97 of Gavin Miller out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, driving the Speedway Toyota powered Sound Gear TRD Mobile 1 number 97. And the 81G, that's Rylan Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana, driving the Ace Corporation, Gray Auto Kaiser Wheels. Gray Brothers Racing number 81, as we're underway in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 3. Justin Grant remains quickest at a 12.433. CV, Weigel, Sarf, and Reese. Kevin Thomas Jr. currently 6th quick. Gavin Miller 7th quick. Colton Robinson, Jacob Boxell, and Gunnar Setzer make up the top 10. 21 of the 28 drivers have made their way out for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Final group going to make its way out to the Speedway. Hayden Reinbold rolls down the front straightaway, driving the AME Electrical, Jugo Superfood, Stanton Spike Chassis, Reinbold Development Incorporated, number 19 AZ. The driver behind him, making his USAC National Midget debut out of Phoenix, Arizona, the AME Electrical, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, number 19. That is Drew Sherman. Cannon McIntosh on track at Bixby, Oklahoma, driving the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Breakers Toyota KKM Curb Janie, number 71K. He makes his way over to turns 1 and 2. Christopher Hartman at a Boulder, Colorado. The unit's moving and portable storage. Claxton Ford, Spike, Metro Cell, Hodge Custom Lawns, Hinchman Indy number 35S. He sits over on the bottom side of turn number 1. Here on the front straightaway, that's Robert Carson at a Concord, California, driving the Yellow Key Enterprises, Esslinger Spike Chassis number 99. And the 19, Ethan Mitchell. He's out of Mooresville, North Carolina, rolling into turn number 1 right now. The Joyous Seating, Walker Filtration, Rye Helmets, Money Bill Honda Spike Chassis number 19M. One more 67 out to the Speedway. That is Mike Unger. He's out of Madison, Wisconsin. Another driver in his USAC debut, normally in competition with the Badger Midget Series, the Denny's Chassis Dyno Services. Logger Build Honda Triple X. Spring Green Tackle, Eye by Sign, Locked In Logistics, the Shadow Man, number 67U. So Justin Grant, so far quickest here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, 12.433. For the driver of the CB Industries, number 87. Again, the official one-lap track record established by Kevin Thomas Jr., June 5, 2023, a 12.385 second lap. See if anybody can get under that time here this evening. Third round of competition of the 2026 season. Again, kicking things off at the Kokomo Grand Prix. Back on April 25th and 26th, Justin Grant and Jacob Denny splitting time in victory lane that weekend as we go to green. As that will wrap up Dirt Draft Hot Laps with Justin Grant. Justin Grant, 12.433 seconds. Quickest in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Learn Lab qualifying next on the program, $150 to be your quick qualifier tonight. Learn Lab is the maker of award-winning hands-on industrial job skills training system. Using curriculum, classroom tools, and rugged hands-on training panels, Learn Lab teaches the necessary skills with real tools and components to help schools, colleges, and companies train their people to simply be better at what they do. Check out learnlab.com for more information. $5,000 to win tonight. What are the drivers running for this week during Indiana Midget Week? Extra cash, that's what they're running for. A hefty point fund up for grabs for the drivers this week. Top six, when it's all said and done, going to get paid out $15,000 to be your Indiana Midget Week titleist. $6,000 for second, $4,000 for third, $2,500 for fourth, $1,500 for fifth, and $1,000 for sixth place in points. And oh, by the way, that $500 bonus to be the Parallax Group passing master this week. As we get ready to get after it, first driver going to enter out to the Speedway for Learn Lab qualifying. It is occupied by the 67K. Driver coming to us out of Titusville, Florida, driver with the Precise Tooling Solutions. TRD Mobile One Curb Records Walker Filtration. KKM Curb Virginia number 67K. This is Colton Robinson. Colton Robinson in the 67K. Picking up a win in Outlaw Non-Wing competition earlier this year at Marion County down in Florida. Turns a 12.878 on a lap number 1. 2 starts in Indiana Midget Week competition. Last year at Paragon and Kokomo. Looking to make his first A-feature appearance in Indiana Midget Week competition here at the Circle City Raceway. Comes around second time by. Looks like it'll be slower. He'll stand on his opening lap. It was a 13.075. Next driver out to the Speedway. Coming in with some momentum off of a victory this past week in a Power I competition up at Macon. Out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, the RMS EnviroFab Guest Performance Rush Race Gear, RMS Racing Speedway Toyota Spank Chassis number 4. This is Cale Drake. Cale Drake in the number 4. 8-time starter in Indiana Midget Week competition. Winner here last year comes around lap number 1. Quick time at a 12.872, 128.72 seconds for Cale Drake on his opening lap. He'll set the mark here in Learn Lab qualifying for the time being. Brings it off at turn number 4. We'll see if he improves. Second time around is better. 12.712. Quick time for Cale Drake in Learn Lab qualifying. Next out to the Speedway, couple of wins with the Rocky Mountain Midget Racing Association so far this year. The driver to Black Forest, Colorado, driver the Redline Performance Roofing, REM Motorsports Race Engine Components, and Zane Graphics number 45. This is Bradley Cox. Bradley Cox in the number 45. On the clock now with the Cappy Mason own number 45. Looking for his first Indiana Midget Week A-feature start here today. Takes it wide through turn number 4 and onto the front straightaway. He'll come around to the wave with the white flag, and he'll go third quick in his opening lap of the 13.132. Up into the fluff over in turn number 2. Keeps it off of the concrete. Last time on track at Kokomo during the Grand Prix, a 19th and a 22nd place finish. For the driver, the number 45 comes around and slower second time by to 13.973, 13.132 on his opening lap will be the time that goes with him. Next driver onto the Speedways all the way from Canyon, Texas, driver the Sierra Towing and Crushing, Dumas Iron and Metal, Silver Dollar Speedway of Lubbock, Texas, D&D Racing, Moving, Dirt number 20Q. This is Brecken Reese. Brecken Reese in the number 20Q. The Jeff Reese-owned machine working onto the back straightaway. Couple of wins up at Port City in micro competition in stock and outlaw non-wing back on June 16th. Comes around lap number 1, second quick at a 12.741, 16th and 9th the last time we saw him up at Kokomo. A 3-time starter in Indiana Sprint Week, or Indiana Midget Week competition rather. Ran 22nd here last year, comes around second time by. A little bit slower, a 12.755, lap number 1 a 12.741, second quick for Brecken Reese. Going to victory lane with a late race pass at Bloomington Speedway back on June 5th. Midwest 2 Mills. The gear starts now. Setzer Fabricating, Lynch Machining Lead Company. Kevin Arnold on number 43. This is Gunnar Setzer. Gunnar Setzer to Columbus, Indiana. Comes around to start the clock. 3 starts in Indiana Midget Week competition. Coming in last year's run. Was 24th last year here at Circle City. A 5th and a 10th to start the season off up at Kokomo back in April. Comes around lap number 1 for Setzer. Third quick at a 12.793. 127.93 seconds. Behind the wheel of the newly formed family-owned number 5 to get his victory up at Bloomington. Takes it up and gets the right rear helmet onto the front straightaway. The link chassis going to come around and slower. 13.086 at 12.793 on lap number 1. Gunnar Setzer currently third quick. All the way from Sheffield, United Kingdom, driver the J. Davidson Scrap Metal, Mobile One Toyota Curb Records, KKM Curb Genius, Speedway Total Link Chassis number 98K. This is Brandon Carr. Brandon Carr in the number 98. Another driver in search of his first Indiana Midget Week start. Saw him up at Kokomo with a 21st and a 15th place finish. Works around to the back straightaway as he is on the clock on lap number 1. Wave of the white flag as he works low and exits wide through turns 3 and 4. His opening lap going to be 5th quick at a 13.101, a 13.101 seconds. Basic up onto the cushion through turns 3 and 4. or turns 1 and 2 rather, takes it into turns 3 and 4. And we'll see where he comes around. Second time by will be better on time. 13.050, still fifth quick for Brandon Carr. Trevor Klein onto the speedway in Mooresville, North Carolina. Driver the Bellwood Auto Body, DC Machines, Mid Titanium, Simpson, Troy Klein, a GRC Fabrication, Stanton Spike chassis number 55. Klein coming around to start the clock. One lone start in Indiana Midweek competition last year up at Kokomo. One win last year with the Extreme Series at Jacksonville. Saw him up at Kokomo. 6 on night number 1. Unfortunately, a scratch the following night. Goes third on his opening lap at a 12.792. 127.92 seconds for the driver. The number 55 comes around through turns 3 and 4. Low to high. The Smith tie, number 55, coming around slower. A 12.818. 12.792 on lap number 1. Third quick currently for the 55. Next driver onto the speedway comes to us out of Surprise, Arizona. Drake Edwards and the great company Rex Road Racing, Advanced Racing Suspension, Speedway Toyota, Spike McDermott Plumbing. Chase McDermott owned number 40D. Comes around to start the clock. 2 wins so far this year. Angel Park this past, or at the end of May with the Badger Series. Before that, Southern Illinois. On May 30th, a 7-time starter in Indiana Midweek competition. Comes around third quick on his opening lap at a 12.779. 13th place finish last year here at Circle City. Takes it off at turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he can improve second time around. Currently sitting third with a 12.779. Lap number 2, better. Quick time at a 12.636. 12636 seconds. Drake Edwards to the top of the boards here in Learn Lab qualifying. Up to play now is going to be Carter Sarf out of Mason City, Illinois, driving the Pelfy and Henshaw Wrecker Services. Speedway Toyota, Ripper Chassis, Factory 71, Toyota Racing Development, Paul May Motorsports, number 71M. Picking up a win in Power I competition back in April at I-44 down in Oklahoma City. A 3-time starter in Indiana Midweek competition. Goes quick time on his opening lap at a 12.620. 12620 seconds. Takes it away from Drake Edwards by .016 seconds. Ran third here 1 year ago. Comes around second time by. Is it better? No. 12.715. He'll stand on his opening lap at 12.620, but that puts Carter Sarf to the top here in Learn Lab qualifying. Out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, driving the Second Opinion Auto, H&H Automotive Machine, Link Chassis, Stanton SR11 Elite Poles, MPV Express, KH Suspension, Dan and Patricia Harrison, number 2ND. This is Matt Sherrill. Matt Sherrill on the 2ND. Last time he was in a feature competition during Indiana Midweek was 2009 at Gas City with a 9th place run and a 22nd at Bloomington. Comes around on his opening lap, and he will go 8th quick at a 13.037, 130.37 seconds for Matt Sherrill. Takes the Dan and Patricia Harrison, number 2ND, off into turns at 3 and 4. He'll skater up to the high line, around to the front straightaway. We'll see where he stops the clock second time by, a little bit slower, 13.119, 8th quick for Matt Sherrill. Another driver coming in with some momentum out of Kennedale, Texas, going to victory lane in Power I competition in Macon back on June 5th. Driver the England Machine and Tool High Performance Lubricant Sure-Built Suspension, Schoenfeld, Timmingler owned EA Still Spike number 7TX. It's Kyle Jones. Kyle Jones on the 7T at speed onto the back straightaway. 8-time starter in Indiana Midweek competition. Last year was 14th here at Circle City. Looking back to Kokomo, an 18th and a 13th placed run for Kyle Jones. Comes around 8th quick on his opening lap at a 12.904. 129.04 seconds for old Snidely Whiplash as he makes his way into turn number 3. He'll get the dust helmet off of the right rear onto the front straightaway. See where he stops the clock second time by. Slower, 13.032. Lap number 1, 12.904. Kyle Jones currently sitting in 8th. Driver who was quick during Dirt Draft Hot Laps. We'll see what he can do here in Learn Lap qualifying out of Ione, California. The NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Mobile One Toyota Racing Development, Speedway Toyota, Spike CB Industries, number 87. This is Justin Grant. Justin Grant, the 87 at speed. 3 wins on the season, including the Kokomo Grand Prix back on April 25th. 53 times in a feature competition during Indiana Midweek. 3 starts here at Circle City. He was 7th last year. Comes around on lap number 1, 5th quick at a 12.779. Back through his other finishes in 2021, a 21st and 9th in 2023. Of course, has a USAC Sprint Car victory back here in September. Comes around second time by, better third quick at a 12.662, 12.662 for Justin Grant. Move him up into third. Out of Belpre, Ohio, driver the Odell Trucking, Odell Motorsports, Pro Marine, Easy Dog, Deaton's Waterfront Services, Toyota Link Chassis number 1. This is Zach Weigel. Zach Weigel in the number 1. Seven-time starter in Indiana Midweek competition. He ran 6th in this event last year. He's a 3-time winner here in USAC D2 Midget competition. In fact, picked up the win earlier this year on May 21st. Comes around on his opening lap, and he'll go 10th quick at a 12.931. 12931 seconds for Zach Weigel. Second to open the season up at Kokomo. Followed that up with a 7th place finish. Brings his way through turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he can better his time on lap number 2. And he does. 6th quick at a 12.761. 12761 for Zach Weigel. Out of Sutter, California, driver of the Indy Power Sports, Desnuda Organic Tequila, Prime 47 Drop Line, Indy Custom Zone, CGCPAs, Atticus Racing, Stanton Spike, number 57. This is Logan Seavey. Logan Seavey, the number 57. 3 wins on the season. Have to go all the way back to Florida at Ocala to find the last one on February 13. 37 starts in Indiana Midweek competition. 3 starts here, a 5th place finish 1 year ago. Comes around 4th quick on his opening lap at a 12.689. 3 wins here with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship to his credit. Makes his way through turn number 3. He'll work up at turn number 4. Checkered flag and a fly for Seavey, and his second time by 5 thousandths off of the pace of lap number 1 at 12.694, 12.689. On lap number 1, currently puts him in 4th. Out to the speedway now. He currently holds a 1-lap track record. Kevin Thomas Jr. to Coleman, Alabama. The Purple Heart Foundation, Metalloid 1, Acrosil, NW Manufacturing, Advanced Racing Suspension, Driven Performance, 4 Kings Racing, Link Chassis number 14. 3 wins on the season outside of USAC National Competition. USAC CRA and the USAC Southwest Series is where he's found victory so far this year. Comes around 10th quick on his opening lap at a 12.855. 12855 seconds for Kevin Thomas Jr. 44 starts in Indiana Midweek competition. 3 starts here at Circle City. Finished runner-up 1 year ago. Comes around second time by slower 13.005. A 12.855 rather for Kevin Thomas Jr. Lap number 1 puts him in 10th. Adam Taylor to Wheatfield, Indiana, onto the speedway now. The Horizon Carpentry, EA Stealth, Spike Chassis, Mongo Crane, Mac Electric, 84 Lumber, Martin One Source, Bankins Motorsports, Excel Automotive, number 7T. Picking up a win last year in Badger Midget competition, in search of a win here in 2026. 1 start in Indiana Midweek competition at Tri-State back in 2024. Had a 19th place run, goes 16th quick on his opening lap at a 13.265, 13265 seconds for Adam Taylor. 22nd and 18th when we saw him up at Kokomo back in April. Comes around better, 15th quick on his second attempt, a 13.119. Next driver onto the speedway comes to you out of Galloway, Ohio. Driver of the JBL Audio TRD Mobile 1, Curb Records, KKM, Kerbicajanian, Speedway Powered Link Chassis number 67. This is Jacob Denny. Jacob Denny in the number 67. Comes around to start the clock. 8 wins on the season. 1 win in USAC National Competition. That was up during the Kokomo Grand Prix on April 26. Comes around on his opening lap as we go on board with Denny. And the Skida.com onboard camera. 13 quick at his opening lap at a 12.933. Third and a victory up at the Kokomo Grand Prix to start off this season. Comes around second time by better 10th quick at a 12.830. 12.830 for Jacob Denny. Out to the speedway now at Zanesville, Indiana. Driver of the Metalloid 1 Performance Products, Stanton Powered Link Chassis, Acrosil, Acrolube, ShopAngryDuck.com, NW Manufacturer number 54. This is Jacob Boxel in the number 54. Last year, 16th place finish here at Circle City. He's a 2-time starter in Indiana Midweek competition. Picked up a USAC D2 Midget win back here in September of 2025. Comes around on his opening lap. And he'll go 18th quick at a 13.133, 13.133 on lap number 1 for Jacob Boxel. 7th and 5th, and he was your quick qualifier on night number 2 of the Kokomo Grand Prix. Comes around second time at speed and a little bit slower, a 13.278, 13278 seconds for Jacob Boxel. Next driver onto the speedway in 40 comes to you out of Beaver Creek, Ohio. Driver of the great company, Speedway Toyota, Spike Chassis, Mulch Express of Wisconsin, Rex Road Racing, Joe's Landscaping, McDermott Plumbing, number 40L. This is Mac Leopard in the number 40L. Another driver in search of his first Indiana Midweek start. Nearly tags the concrete over turn number 2. Bounced her up over the cushion a little bit. Up at Kokomo during the Grand Prix to start the season off. 20th place finish on night number 1. 12th place finish on night number 2. Comes around 19th quick in his opening lap at a 13.855, 13.855 seconds for Mac Leopard on lap number 1. Moves his line around over turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he can get the McDermott number 40 a little bit higher on the board. He does, 16th quick at a 13.115. Out to the speedway now, Gavin Miller out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Driver of the Sound Gear, Toyota Racing Development, Bubble 1 Curb Record Speedway, Toyota Link Chassis, KKM, Kerbigajanian, number 97. Sprint car victory back on May 2nd over in Paragon. Of course, that's what will be tomorrow in Indiana Midget Week competition along with the sprint cars. 14 starts in Indiana Midget Week competition. 2 starts here at Circle City. A 10th place run last year and a 23rd place run in 2023. Comes around 20th quick on his opening lap of the 13.198. 13.198 seconds for Gavin Miller on lap number 1. Night number 1 at Kokomo, 12th. Night number 2, a second place finish for the driver of the number 97. Comes around second time by, will be a 12.969. Better second time by, jump him up to the 14th position. At speed on the back straightaway to Greenfield, Indiana. Driver of the Ace Corp, Stanton Link Chassis, Gray Auto Kaiser Wheels, Gray Brothers Racing, number 81G. This is Rylan Gray. Rylan Gray in the number 81 at speed now. Two-time starter in Indiana Midget Week competition. Looking for his first start here at Circle City. His starts coming at Bloomington in 2022 and Kokomo last year. Speaking of Kokomo, 24th and 16th during the Grand Prix to start the season off. Goes 17th quick on his opening lap at a 13.060, 13.060 for Rylan Gray on lap number 1. Swings her low, then brings her high over through turns 3 and 4. Lap number 2, and he'll find some improvement by a couple of spots. 15th quick at a 13.033. Out to the speedway now, you're defending USAC National Midget Champion at Bixby, Oklahoma. Driver of the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Records Toyota KKM Kerbigajanian Link Chassis number 71K. This is Cannon McIntosh. Cannon McIntosh in the 71K. Couple of wins so far this season in micro competition back on April 4th and May 13th in Millbridge. 36 starts in Indiana Midget Week competition. 3 starts here, was 25th last year. Comes around 12th quick on his opening lap at a 12.864. His best run in 2024, a 6th place finish here at Circle City. Makes his way through turns 3 and 4. The Mobile 1 number 71K, second time around, will be slower, 13.124, or a 12.864 in his opening lap. Cannon McIntosh currently sitting in 12th. Final handful of drivers out to Speedway to qualify. Mooresville, North Carolina driver Ethan Mitchell. On the gas over into turns 3 and 4, the Joy of Seating, Walker Filtration, Rye Hellman's Bunny Built Spike Chassis, number 19M. 24 starts in Indiana Midget Week competition, has yet to go to a feature competition here at Circle City. Looking back to the first 2 nights of racing at Kokomo, a 10th and a 21st place run, goes 23rd quick on his opening lap at a 13.143, 13.143 seconds. For Lil Bundy, he'll make his way through turns 3 and 4, brings her all the way down to the bottom side of the speedway. We'll see if he finds some speed. 23rd on lap number 1, 19th on lap number 2, 13.097. On to the back straightway at Gilbert, Arizona. Driver the AME Electrical Jugo Super Boot, Stanton Spike Chassis, Reinbold Development Incorporated, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, number 19 AZ. This is Hayden Reinbold. Hayden Reinbold in the 19 on track. Picking up a win in Silver Crown competition back on May 9th at the Salt City 100. He's a 21-time starter in Indiana Midget Week competition. 8th place finish last year here at Circle City. He was 17th in 2023, and his only other start goes 24th quick on his opening lap at a 13.164, 13.164 seconds for Hayden Reinbold on lap number 1. A 15th and a 5th at Kokomo to start the season off. Second time around, better. 10th quick at a 12.821, 128.21 for Hayden Reinbold. Driver making his USAC National Midget debut here tonight out of Madison, Wisconsin. Driver the Denny's Chassis Dyno Services. Longer built Honda Triple X. Spring green tackle, eye-by signs, locked in logistics. The Shadow Man. Frederickson Unger Racing number 67U. This is Mike Unger in the number 67U. Normally in competition up with the Badger Series. Brings it around on lap number 1. And he'll go 25th quick at a 14.064, 140.64 seconds for Mike Unger. Hustles are onto the back straightway. See if you can find a little bit more speed in the Honda Power number 67 off of turn number 4. 25th quick on lap number 1. And he'll find some time, but still the same position, 13.891. Lap number 2, 25th for the 67. Another driver on track for the first time in USAC National Midget Competition, the son of storied Arizona driver Jeremy Sherman. This is Drew Sherman out of Phoenix, Arizona, driver the AME Electrical Machine Valley Transportation Stanton Spike Reinbold Underwood Motorsports number 19. Of course, his father, a regular winner at the former Manzanita Speedway in USAC, SCRA, and even ASCS competition. Drew coming around in his opening lap, 25th quick at a 13.377, 133.77 seconds for Drew Sherman. Rolls her through the back straightaway and off into turns 3 and 4. Second time by, better on time, not position, 13.356. Couple of more drivers set to qualify. The 35 going to roll out to the speedway. Christopher Hartman out of Boulder, Colorado. The unit's moving in portable storage, Claxton powered. Spike Chassis, Hinchman Indy, Hodge Custom Launch, Josh Hahn Jones, number 35S. Another driver in search of his first 8-feature start in Indiana Midget Week competition. First time we've seen him this season as he works onto the back straightaway. He is on the clock through the warm-up lap. He has broken the beam, and we'll see where he lands on lap number 1. Going to be 26 quick at a 13.736, 137.36 seconds for the driver of the number 35S. Backs are up to the wall over in turn number 3. Look out, caution. '27 driver out to qualify, and he will misstep over turn number 3 and back her into the concrete. Catch a replay as he made his way down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Over the cushion slightly on the exit of 2. Throws her in just a little bit too much. And unfortunately backs her right up to the wall. Get another look at it as they slow the frame rate down here. And again, enters just too low on the racetrack when he starts to rotate. Nothing to really grab onto. And that sends him around and up into the concrete. And the bad news into the wall, the good news, she is rolling so far as Drake was able to go up and get a look. We'll see if he has an update.
Yeah, just got to look at the rear end of Hartman's car, and seems to be the only damage is that pushed-in tail tank and rear bumpers. So the good news is no real suspension damage on that 35S machine.
So far seems to be the case as we have one more driver set to go here in Learn Lab qualifying. As they clear the racing surface, and the driver to Concord, California, going to make his way out onto the speedway in search of his first start in Indiana Midget Week competition. The LOK Enterprises, Esslinger Spike Chassis, Indy Rear End Services, West Evans Motorsports, Backwoods MC, number 99K. This is Robert Carson in the number 99. Works her onto the back straightaway. We'll see where he lands here on lap number 1. Time going to stop 28th quick, get a 14.339, 143.39 seconds for Robert Carson. Rolls through turns 3 and 4 once more. We'll see if he improves on lap number 2. And he does. 27, takes nearly half a second off 13.880. As that'll wrap up Learn Lab qualifying here on night number 1 of Indiana Midget Week at Circle City. 5th quick tonight was Kel Drake. 4th quick was Logan Seavey. 3rd quick was Justin Grant. 2nd quick was Drake Edwards. And your quick qualifier in the Paul Mays Motorsports number 71M. Race fans, give him a hand. The Shark, Carter Sarv. First time this season in USAC competition. 4th time in his career he has been your Learn Lab quick qualifier. He's going to get a word with Christy.
Yeah, 4th career Learn Lab Fast Qualifying Award with the USAC Austin Drink National Midget Series. 3 of those coming during Indiana Midget Week, which tends to be that time of the season where you're really hitting your stride. New combination for you and Paul May with the USAC Austin Drink National Midget Series. Do you feel like you guys are coming out of the gate swinging pretty easy?
Yeah, I was honestly shocked to CSP1. I honestly didn't feel amazing. We had fuel spraying all over the place, and yeah, I'm just shocked, honestly. I thought we were going to be 15th, so yeah, super cool to start off the night hot, and yeah, hopefully be even better when everything's right. So yeah, just thanks to Paul for letting me come out and have some fun, and yeah, just excited to keep the night going.
Perhaps it didn't feel fast, but it was fast. What were some of the marks that you were trying your best to hit that maybe didn't feel like you were, but it was the best way around?
Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed this place last year, and I think that helped coming here last year and being so successful. And yeah, Paul just a really good race car. He's just really good at getting me comfortable. So yeah, just like I said, looking forward to hopefully putting together a whole night and hopefully get that first USAC win.
Carter Sarf picks up night number 1 of Indiana Midget Week 4 Learn Lab qualifying to start us off here at Circle City Raceway.
So a little bit of moisture applied down to the racing surface as we were going through the interview. The horn about to sound down in the pit area, so that'll start to signal drivers to make their way into the staging lanes. So the horn sounding now. That puts 8 minutes on the clock. So here on the FloRacing on Prime Broadcast, we're going to step away for a moment. We'll be back with opening ceremonies.
I'm Logan Seavey, and you're watching USAC on FloRacing.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located minutes from downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and holds an FFL license. If you have any questions, please call Indy Metal Finishing today at 317-858-5353. Find them online at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Indy Metal Finishing, or visit their website at indymetalfinishing.com.
Use more, you save more. From just $229 a month at Lou Fuse Kia Moline, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the Quad Cities. During the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, save on K4s just $229 a month. Drive a new Sportage, $249 a month, and new Sorrentos, $309 a month. Or take home both with 0% financing. It's the Choose More, Save More sales event at Lou Fuse Kia Moline, home of the 200,000-mile warranty. Lou Fuse, we are family.
Challenge? How about this? Anything you can do, I can do faster. Okay, bro. I'm gnarlier than you. I get more sideways. I'm louder. Much louder. I get wilder than you. You sure about that, bro?
Harder. Slicker. Cooler. Tougher. Let's go.
So what you got?
Welcome back to the FloRacing broadcast on Prime here tonight, night #1 of Indiana Midget Week, and we are live from Circle City. It is that time of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for our invocation and national anthem? Please remove cover. Out of respect to those who serve and in honor of those who have given their lives in the defense of our nation, we go down to Tim Spillman.
Can we all pray? Father God, once again we pause, and we thank you for all your blessings and all your love you give to each and every one of us. We thank you for your Son that gave his life for all of us on Calvary. We thank you for the opportunity of being here at Circle City Raceway. And I ask that every event they would put on, may it be a great success, and may they prosper in every way. We thank you for our military, Lord, that's standing around this world and on our shores so we can assemble like we are tonight. And Father, I ask you to bring them all home safe very soon. Thank you for all the sponsors that come along to help make all this possible. And now, Father, we ask you to bless and keep safe all of our drivers, crews, officials, and all of these great fans. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Get ready, it's coming. You hunting or you running? Get ready, get ready, get ready, ready. It's coming. It's coming. You hunting or you running? It's coming. Get ready. Yeah. Know your enemy. Prepare mentally.
Set to go to racing action here tonight at Circle City, night number 1 of the toughest week in outdoor midget racing, set to get underway. Heat race number 1 for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, brought to you by K1 Race Gear. Drivers will parade out to the speedway, and your lineup set to roll to the green like this. Going for the pole here in heat race number 1, the driver coming to you out of Beaver Creek, Ohio, driving the great company, Mulch Express of Wisconsin. Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis number 40L, that will be Mac Leopard. Outside row number 1, it's going to be Rylan Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana, driving the Ace Corp. Gray Auto, Kaiser Wheel, Stanton Link Chassis number 81. Second row from the inside, it'll be Cannon McIntosh out of Bixby, Oklahoma, the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Wreckers Toyota number 71K. And next to him will be Gunnar Setzer to Columbus, Indiana. Driving the Midwest 2 Mills, the Cure starts now. Setzer Fabricating, Lynch Machining, Lee Company number 43. Cale Drake out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. He'll take off in the 5th starting spot. The RMS EnviroFab Guest Performance Rust Race Gear number 4. And outside of him, it is the Shark. It's Carter Sarf of Mason City, Illinois. Driving the Heffley and Hinshaw Wrecker Service, Speedway Toyota Ripper, Toyota Racing Development, Factory 71, number 71M. And your final starter is set to be Drew Sherman out of Phoenix, Arizona. The AME Electrical, Massive Transportation, Spike Stanton, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, number 19. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1 of 4 tonight for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. We talked about it earlier, but the driver's not only running for nightly payouts, of course, 5,000 wins tonight, but when it's all said and done, when the checkered flag drops at Kokomo on Sunday, the champion of Indiana Midweek going to walk away with $15,000, $6,000 for second, $4,000 for third, $2,500 for fourth, $1,500 for fifth, and $1,000 for sixth in the final standings of Indiana Midweek. So great money up for grabs this week. And again, that $500 passing master, that is every time the driver's on track when they advance position, they have a shot at an extra $500 courtesy of the Parallax Group. Drivers will start to get wound up and make their way behind the Toyota Racing Development Pace Truck. And with that, we'll see if we can get an update from Drake York.
Well, Brian, I'm looking at the driver rolling from the inside of row number 3 here in our first heat race of the evening, Cale Drake, and he's got a big burst of momentum headed into Indiana Midweek. As a matter of fact, he won the last POWRi sanctioned event out at the Macon Speedway in Illinois. And I was talking to his car owner, Dave Estep, earlier today. He said, right now, Cale and his crew chief, Lacey Doyle, they're just gelling so well right now. He thinks they're a real contender. He told me he expects to win 2 races here during Indiana Midweek, so big expectations to fill. But Cale Drake and Lacey Doyle, of course, the crew chief on that race car, really gelling when it matters here in 2026 as lights are out.
Thank you very much, Drake. Leopard and Gray on row number 1, McIntosh sets row number 2, Drake and Sarf and Sherman. In his USAC National Midget debut, going to make their way off of turn number 4. We're green here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Who's going to have the advantage onto the back straightaway? Well, it will be Leopard in the McDermott number 40 machine. McIntosh trying to hold on to second, trying to take that from Gray here on the inside through the middle. Goes to 71. He's got second, looking for the race lead this time into turns 1 and 2.
They were 3 wide for the fourth position back there. Cale Drake comes out with the better end of that deal. Still battling with Gunnar Setzer and your Learn Lab Quick Qualifier tonight, Carter Starr, for that 4th spot.
Top 5 is where you want to be going to be if you want to make your way up into the feature event and avoid the 5-star body semi-feature event. As Mac Leopard leads, Cannon McIntosh with Rylan Gray, Cale Drake and Carter Starr right now with that 5th and final position. Going on to the feature event, driver knocking on the door with him is Gunnar Setzer. The Link Midwest 2 Mills, number 43, trying to get up and grab one more here. Drew Sherman currently rounding out your running order. Eyes at the front of the field. The 71K doing everything he can. He's run multiple lines trying to reel in Mac Leopard so far. Leopard clawing his way to the front. Top two drivers on a bit of a breakaway race from third on back. They're still right there within striking distance. Carter Sarf able to get by Cale Drake to get that insurance. Now going to go to work on Gray, side by side for third onto the back straightaway. The Paul May Motorsports number 71 working low, then swinging wide. The ace car number 81 going to try to answer to the inside. Not enough traction. He'll settle back into that fourth spot. Cale Drake still running in fifth. Keep an eye on Gunnar Setzer. He has closed in quite a bit. Again, trying to get one more spot and avoid the semi-feature.
Yes, so Gunnar Setzer currently on the outside looking in. Cale Drake holding down that fifth and final transfer position. He looks to the inside of Rylan Gray, going to take over that spot. Now Rylan Gray on the bubble, but he comes back to Cale Drake.
Good back and forth action going on for the fourth and fifth position. The EnviroFab number 4 back to the inside of the ace car number 81 as they work into turns 1 and 2. It's going to be Gray with the advantage onto the far side of the speedway. Cale Drake still running in the final transfer spot. Wave of the white flag in the meantime. One more time around from Mac Leopard in 40. And in McIntosh, who had been up on him just a few laps ago, losing time now, nearly a second trailing as they work into turns 3 and 4. One last time. Checker flag and drop at K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1, and Mac Leopard secures his spot in the feature event with a heat race win. Cannon McIntosh crosses in second. Carter Sarf, Rylan Gray, and Cale Drake holds on for the final transfer into the main event. Gunnar Setzer, Drew Sherman unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, out of Beaver Creek, Ohio, driver of the great company, Mulch Express of Wisconsin, Speedway Toyota, Spike McDermott Plumbing, number 40L. Give him a hand, Mac Leopard. Cannon McIntosh, Carter Sarf, Rylan Gray, Cale Drake, they're all going on to the feature event. Let's take it down to Drake.
Mac Leopard gets his first heat race win of the 2026 season here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. And Mac, I think there were some question marks after that little bit of track prep we had, where to go. You run the high side down in 1 and 2 and the bottom in 3 and 4. Tell me how you found those lines and made them work so well.
I think just like the best way was I was watching like last year's race and where they ran, and then kind of like it was similar to last year how qualifying was, and I didn't do too good in qualifying, but I'm glad I made it up in the heat race and won. But I'd just like to thank Chase and his team. Just great car. And Russ, everyone there, great. Joe's Landscaping, Champion Equipment, and just everyone else on this car.
Mac Leopard gets the win in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Of course, the Leopard name, one synonymous with USAC Racing. Mac's great-grandfather was actually a scorer for the United States Auto Club back in the day, as Mac gets the win here in Heat Race number 1.
Thank you very much. TJ Ford's heat race number 2, the driver of the poles at Wheatfield, Indiana. The driver of the Horizon Carpentry, Mongo Crane, EA Stealth Spike Chassis number 7T. It's going to be Adam Taylor. Outside of him, Matt Sherrill. Sherrill out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. The Dan and Patricia Harris own. Second opinion auto, Stanton Link Chassis number 2ND. Next row for the inside, the 67K. The driver out of Titusville, Florida. The Precise Tooling Solutions, TRD Mobile 1 KKM, Kirby Virginia number 67K. That'll be Colton Robinson, and next to him, the 19AZ, Hayden Reinbold at Gilbert, Arizona. The AMA Electrical Jugo Superfood Stanton Spike Chassis number 19AZ. The 20Q driver graduating up out of the now 600 micro ranks at Canyon, Texas. The Sierra Towing and Crushing Speedway Total Link Chassis Sundays Grocery Chandler Grand Prix number 20Q. It's going to be Bricken Reese. And next to him, the 40D, Drake Edwards out of Peoria, Arizona. The great company, Rex Road Racing, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis number 40. Final starter is scheduled to be Christopher Hartman out of Boulder, Colorado. The unit's moving in portable storage at Claxton Ford Spike. Josh Hodge-Jones, number 35S. That'll be the scheduled lineup again for TJ Ford's heat race number 2. TJ Ford's Wheels was founded to be the best, no compromise, forged wheels in the motorsports industry. Product quality, safety, and customer service are the driving factors for TJ Fords, and they're committed to being your first and your only call for racing wheels. Go to tjfords.com to get started today. TJ Fords bringing you heat race number 2. Before we go to green, we have a first-time race fan out for Midget Week, and they made the trip all the way from New Zealand, and even better, it's their birthday. Kim Guptill, happy birthday from everybody here with the United States Auto Club and your family as you enjoy Indiana Midget Week as we go to green. Dashing onto the back straightway, it will be Matt Sherrill after the early lead. Ooh, my, close racing going on for second, third, fourth. Thought we were going to have some tires going in a bad direction for a second.
Drake Edwards looking for a way around. He's kind of been in the center of that sort of cluster that you're seeing, and now gets a little bit too tight coming out of turn number 2. He's going to settle into that sixth spot for now, but makes that slide for 5th.
You ever gone down 465 and all of a sudden somebody just cuts in front of you? It's kind of like that. Nevertheless, he's gotten it going here a little bit. He and the 7 going to battle it out again for the final transfer spot. That's Adam Taylor coming back. Taylor, the last time around, it slapped the concrete in the back straightaway. That allowed the 40 to get the run, as now there is problems on the number 40D. Starting to get his momentum built up. Unfortunately, Drake Edwards, we'll see if he pulls it down into the infield. He will not. Caution going to come out. Not sounding too good on the way by. So get it back into the Indy Metal finishing work area and get a look at it, see if he's able to make his way back out or if that one's heading back to the trailer. Matt Sherrill on the 2ND. Last time I saw this car on track was under the giant roof of the SageNet Center at the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Collinsville, Oklahoma driver so far leading the way. The Second Opinion Auto, H&H Automotive Machine, Elite Pools, MPV Express, KH Suspension, number 2ND. The 19AZ of Hayden Reinbold currently sitting in second. Colton Robinson finds himself in third. Brecken Reese in fourth, and Adam Taylor in the top 5 with Christopher Hartman. Right now, rounding out your field. Hartman, normally we see him when we head back for Mid-America Midget Week. He'll come out to Beloit, Kansas especially, and when we head up to Jefferson County up in Nebraska. Good to see him making his way into the state of Montana this year.
Yep, so Indiana Midget Week drawing out some people. Love to see it.
So time in the work area will allow the McDermott team to make repairs on the number 40. So Drake Edwards, and she's still not sounding too snappy out there. Sounds like she might be missing a cylinder, so he's going to go ahead and turn it down into the infield. Unfortunately, his heat race will come to a close. Talking about Mid-America Midget Week, that's going to be coming up at the beginning of the month of July. Sweet Springs on July 7th, Mitchell County Fairgrounds for the Chad McDaniel Memorial on July 8th, and Jefferson County Speedway for the Midwest Midget Championship on July 10th and 11th as we go back to green here at Circle City.
So pretty good restart there for Matt Sherrill. Adam Taylor quickly moving to the top side of the racetrack. He continues to hold down that 5th and final transfer spot as the top 2 are on a breakaway.
Working through turns 3 and 4. Sherrill going to bring him around to show the way. Reinbold running in second. Colton Robinson running in third. Brecken Reese, Adam Taylor. Right now those 5 drivers moving on. Then it will be Hartman currently rounding out your running order. 35 running a little bit more of a D2 style engine under the bottom of that thing. Coming out here and getting some laps. As they're singled out onto the back straightaway, Matt Sherrill has been in command from the word go on this one. Started outside of the front row, was able to get the jump over Taylor and grab the race lead. Taylor, remember a few laps ago, hit the wall, thought maybe that had slowed him down a little bit, but he's actually starting to come in and try to challenge on the 20Q of Brecken Reese.
So that's the battle going on for the 4th position. Meanwhile, the heat for the battle for the lead is heating up. Hayden Reinbold looking just a lane lower than what Matt Sherrill is running, trying to get to the inside of him. So far, hasn't been able to make that pass, but is getting very close.
Trying to crank up the gas on this one. Works down to the inside, has a run onto the back straightaway. Sherrill has a better one. Matt Sherrill trying to get them elbows out. Now going to switch his lines around. He's going to go to the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. Reinbold going to go to the top. White flag is out. Last time around, here comes the 19 on the outside. Goodbye. Going to take over the top spot. Sells Sherrill a dummy over through turns 1 and 2, and he's able to change his lineup and take over off of turn number 4. It'll pay off for him. Reinbold gets the job done in TJ Ford's heat race number 2. Matt Sherrill in second. Colton Robinson, Brecken Reese, Adam Taylor. They're moving on to the feature event. Hartman and Edwards unofficially rounding out your field. Great run and a setup. Coming to the final lap to get it done at Gilbert, Arizona. Give him a hand. Hayden Reinbold, winner in TJ Ford's heat race number 2. Sherrill, Robinson, Reese, Taylor, they're all going on to the feature event as we're going to take it down to the infield to catch up with our winner.
Hayden Reinbold winning that TJ Ford heat race 2. Now before that caution, utilizing the bottom, but in the last lap, kind of found the top. How helpful was that in making the pass?
Yeah, I felt pretty good, like middle top, but he was kind of running a line where I couldn't get around him, so I just tried to throw him a dummy, try to hit the bottom, and maybe I could get underneath him, but once he moved down, I felt like I could get up and get by him. But yeah, super important we win that. Put me in a weird spot in 10th, but now we'll start 7th, 8th, whatever, around there.
Hayden Reinbold taking that TJ Forge Heat Race 2.
Thank you very much. Set to go into K&M Filters Heat Race number 3 in the driver's side of the pole. And this one comes to us out of Black Forest, Colorado. Drive the Redline Performance Roofing Stanton Link Chassis. Cappy Mason O, number 45. It's going to be Bradley Cox. Outside row number 1, the 98K, the driver out of Sheffield, United Kingdom. The J. Davidson Scrap Metal, Mobile 1 Toyota Curb Records number 98K of Brandon Carr. Next row from the inside, the 7TX machine. That will be Kyle Jones out of Kennedale, Texas. The England Machine and Tool Yazdell Spike Chassis. Tim Engler owned at number 7TX. And outside of him is going to be Jacob Denny out of Galloway, Ohio. The JBO Audio TRD Mobile 1 Toyota number 67. Third row from the inside, Zach Weigel out of Belpre, Ohio. The Odell Motorsports, Odell Trucking, Pro Marine, Easy Dock, Dean's Waterfront Services number 1. And next to him, Justin Grant out of Ione, California. The NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Mobile 1 Toyota Racing Development, CB Industries number 87. Final starter, Robert Carson out of Concord, California. The LOK Enterprises, that's Singer Spike Chassis number 99. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for K&M Filters Heat Race number 3 of 4 with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. K&N Filters not only sponsoring Heat Race number 3, but also bringing you the K&N Clean Air Award in 2026. It's presented to the driver who leads the most laps during the USAC National A Feature competition throughout the 2026 season. The award is designed to recognize sustained performance at the front of the field where engine efficiency, reliability, and meticulous preparation are at a premium. Shop for your vehicle and even your home at knfilters.com. Round of the NOS Energy Start Can exit turn number 4. We're underway here in K&N Filters Heat Race number 3. Side by side, duking it out onto the back straightaway. Driver with the advantage into turns 3 and 4 will be the Englishman. Brandon Carr going to come around to lead lap number 1, but he's got a horde coming after him. The JBL number 67, 3 wide up to the high side of the racetrack. He'll take over second.
Jacob Denny squeezed it through a gap that almost looked like it didn't exist. Nobody breaking away from this just yet. We've got 6 cars under a blanket.
Denny to the outside, just like we saw the last time around. Masterful on the high side. He's going to come around and he'll take over the top spot. Had it at the line by a little over 0.2 of a second. Kyle Jones, in the meantime, running in third, looking for second. The Engler own number 7 throws the slide at the exit. Turn number 4, got it. He'll take it away from the J. Davidson Scrap Metal number 98, but not for long. Here comes Carr back to the inside across the nose of the 7. He'll retake the second position onto the back straightaway now. Trying to get into that mix is going to be the one of Zach Weigel. The 87, Justin Grant, likewise right there. He holds the final transfer spot into the feature event. Bradley Cox, Robert Carson right now rounding out your running order, but second, third, fourth, and fifth all right there under a blanket. Problems for the 99. And rolling slow to the back straightaway. Carson going to bring the caution lights on. So under yellow flag conditions for the 99K. Robert Carson coming to a stop at the exit turn number 2 as the field gets lined up, ready to go. Let's check in with Drake York right quick.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on Drake Edwards, who pulled off at the very end, or rather just a few laps from the end of that last heat race. He told me it was a drivetrain issue, or at least that's what he thinks it is. Of course, that was before he got back to the pit area so that team could diagnose it. He also told me, too, the engine was definitely off, so just thought it was a smarter idea to pull it in instead of risking that motor being out on the racetrack for the end of that heat race.
Thank you very much. Jacob Denny leading in the JBL Audio number 67. Brandon Carr's teammate running in second. Kyle Jones in third. Zach Weigel, Justin Grant. Those 5 drivers right now moving on to the feature event. Bradley Cox, first driver on the outside, looking in as we're back after it.
Bradley Cox able to hang in there on those first 5 laps. We'll see what he's able to do on these second 5 laps. Justin Grant going to try out the top side of the racetrack this time to get some momentum going.
Justin's been searching around so far, just like he's really having to wait on the car now, able to work down to the inside of Weigel, but Zach with a better run right through the middle groove, able to keep the NOS Energy number 87 at bay. Now he's going to go to protect the bottom side and look for third. Kyle Jones on the outside looking for second. Brandon Carr trying to hold them off. But right now Jacob Denny gone from the field, 7 in of 10.
Kyle Jones trying to look to the inside of Carr this time, but there's Weigel in that same spot that Jones was going to look to occupy. Now Justin Grant getting a good drive off the bottom.
Grant really getting the car to rotate around the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. Found a little bit of moisture, was able to launch by the 1. Now coming after Kyle Jones. Those two drivers going to duke it out all the way to the bottom line. Contact as the white flag comes out, and Weigel comes to a stop in 1.
So it looked like Justin Grant got in on the bottom, and Weigel maybe just tapped his rear bumper. Just everybody in the same space. We've seen those 4 cars racing each other in very close quarters the last few laps, so just a little bit of contact there.
Super, super tight racing. Jones and Grant were absolutely, they were in a dogfight trying to get down to the bottom side of the speedway. Jones trying to take the line away. Grant had to get on the binders. Weigel goes in right as Grant has to whoa up. He doesn't have time to react. Smacks into the back of the 87, so assessment correct in that, getting into the back of Justin Grant. Again, looking at it as they slow it down, and you see Justin trying to force his way down to the bottom. Jones says, nope, that's mine, as we come around to the drop of the green flag. 2-lap dash to the finish.
Now Zach Weigel is out of the transfer spot. He's going to have to get past Bradley Cox once again to get himself back into a ticketed seat to the A-main event.
Justin Grant around the bottom looking for third. He'll come around with it. Can he grab second here in the closing lap? Wave of the white flag, 1 to go. Battle for the transfer spot is on as well. Bradley Cox had it at the line. Zach Weigel going to take it onto the back straightaway. Cox is not done. Works to his inside through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air for the 67. Before the transfer spot, it will go to the 1 of Zach Weigel. Good back and forth racing to be in the show. Weigel comes away with the 5th spot. Kyle Jones in 4th. Brandon Carr in 3rd. Justin Grant in 2nd. Your winner in that one in 67. Give him a hand. Jacob Denny gets the job done in the JBL TRD Mobile 1 number 67. Field going to make their way back into the pit area. Winner going to come to a stop here in the front straightaway. Let's go down to Drake.
Jacob Denny gets his 2nd heat race win of 2026 here in Cannon and Filters, heat race number 3, of course. Your most recent winner with the series out at the Kokomo Speedway during Grand Prix weekend, and the current series points leader headed into Indiana Midget Week. And Jacob, how important is it to have a good week here this year at Indiana Midget Week to help your title chances?
Yeah, this week is a big part of the year, so you gotta be strong at all 6 of these tracks. So yeah, kind of put ourselves in no man's land there in the qualifying. We had to win that heat race, so I'm glad we could do that and start a little bit farther forward in the future.
Your current points leader, like I said, coming off of his win at the Kokomo Grand Prix in the series last round, gets the win here in Cannon and Filters, heat race number 3.
Thank you very much. Indy Power Sports heat race number 4. Of course, Indy Power Sports provided the 4-wheelers and side-by-sides utilized by USAC officials. Heat race to make its way out of the 54. Jacob Boxell at Zanesville, Indiana, going to be on the pole. The middleweight 1 Performance Products, AcroSeal, AcroLude number 54. Outside of him, the 19M is Ethan Mitchell at Mooresville, North Carolina. The Joyous Seating, Walker Filtration, Arai Helmets, number 19. The 97 inside of row number 2 is going to be Gavin Miller at Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Sound Gear TRD Mobile 1, number 97. And the 14 next to him, going to be Kevin Thomas Jr. at Coleman, Alabama. The Purple Heart Foundation, Metalloid 1, AcroSeal, NW Manufacturing, Driven Performance, Four Kings Racing, number 14. Out of Mooresville, North Carolina, Trevor Klein, the Bellwood Auto Body, DC Machine, Smith Titanium, Simpson, number 55. He'll go from the 5th starting spot from 6. It'll be Logan Seavey out of Sutter, California. The Desnudo Organic Tequila, Indy Power Sports, Stanton Spike Chassis, number 57. And your final starter comes here to Madison, Wisconsin, one of the Badger Midget regulars, Mike Unger. And the Spring Green Tackle, Lagerville Honda Triple X, the Shadow Man, Locked In Logistics, number 67U. If you have a major weight down to the USAC merchandise trailer, make sure you get down there while your size, color, and design is available. In stock, ready to go, Indiana Midget Week t-shirts. She's already been selling them online before we even started in Midget Week, and they've been selling quick. So make sure and get down there and get yours. A lot of colors to choose from. There's tie-dye. There's some really neat options down there. And, of course, the merchandise trailer, brand new. That was unveiled last week at Red Hill, and Brooke has gone through, and that thing is stocked front to back with a lot of great products. So make sure and get your race day must-have gear.
It's pristine over there. I'd go check it out.
It's a good way of putting it, pristine. On your way by, get a complimentary can of NOS Energy Drink. You'll be good to go. As we get ready to go in Indy Power Sports Heat Race number 4, Boxell Mitchell, row number 1. Field works past the NOS Energy start can, and we are off to the races. The middleweight one, number 54, going to jump out to the early advantage. Lil Bundy coming after him here in the 19. He's going to patrol down to the inside through turns 3 and 4. Can he get the run onto the front straightaway? He cannot. It'll be Boxel leading on your opening lap. The 14, Kevin Thomas Jr., teammate to your leader, quickly up into that second spot. KTJ going to fall to third, though. Ethan Mitchell with a great launch of the exit to number 2, retakes the position. Kevin Thomas still right there, though, in the hunt as they work into turns 1 and 2.
Here comes Logan Seavey, just slid himself into that 5th and final transposition over Trevor Klein, and now trying to fend off a retaliation from the 55.
Kevin Thomas Jr. up across the racetrack again, this time a better launch of the Purple Heart Foundation, number 14. He will hold on to second. Ethan Mitchell going to run to that third spot. Then it's going to be the 97 of Gavin Miller with Logan Seavey chasing the Indy Power Sports Desnudos Organic Tequila number 57. Working down to the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to get an insurance spot here. The 55 of Klein, the 67 of Unger right now running at your running order. Seavey with the run to the back straightaway. He's got one. He's looking for another one this time into turns 3 and 4. To the midpoint, 5 in, 5 to go. Jacob Boxel leading in 54. 16th place run last year here at Circle City. Quick time and a 5th place finish last time we saw him on track up at Kokomo, night number 2 of the Grand Prix. Being chased right now by Kevin Thomas Jr. A 4th and a 14th up at Kokomo. 3 starts here in a 2nd place run last year for the driver, the number 14, as Logan Seavey goes to work trying to get third away as they come around with 7 laps in the books.
Battle for the 3rd position continues to rage on. Ethan Mitchell sitting in that 3rd position. Logan Seavey 1 spot out looking in. Gavin Miller, if these guys get to racing, might be able to close that gap a little bit.
Both drivers up the high side and in the hunt here as they'll come around this time to find the lap coat flying. White flag in the air, 1 to go in your final heat race, brought to you by Indy Power Sports. The Four Kings Racing Machines run 1 and 2 onto the back straightaway. Seavey still in the hunt for that 3rd spot. Time is running out. Final turns as I work onto the front straightaway. It will be Jacob Boxel getting the heat race win. Kevin Thomas Jr. crossing in 2nd. Ethan Mitchell holds on to 3rd. Logan Seavey, Gavin Miller, those 5 drivers onto the feature event. Trevor Klein, Mike Unger, unofficially rounding out your field. That's your winner, ladies and gentlemen. He comes to you out of Zanesville, Indiana. Driving the Metalwood 1 Performance Products, Acro Steel, Acro Loop, Four Kings, MW Fabricating, number 54. Give him a hand, Jacob Boxel. Winner in heat race number 4. Let's go down trackside.
Jacob Boxel taking the Indy Power Sports Heat 4 win for tonight. Now, keeping a comfortable distance between yourself and your teammate, Kevin Thomas Jr., was there any note-taking for tonight's feature?
Yeah, we struggled a little bit in qualifying. I definitely let the team down there, and definitely knew we had to win this heat race to give us a little chance later in the A, but yeah, I didn't know he ran 2nd there. I didn't get to see the board after the checkered, but yeah, it's always good to beat him. Give him a little crap later, but hopefully we can stay in front of him in the feature and pass a few cars on the way.
Four Kings Racing going 1 and 2 for that Indy Power Sports Heat 4.
Thank you very much. Sprint cars will be next on the program. They'll do a quick mist of water out to the speedway before we get the wingless 410s out to the racetrack. So heat race number 1 for the sprint car is going to be to make its way out onto the speedway. Driver out of Phoenix, Cameron LaRose, and the Avante Windows and Doors number 13P, slated for the pole. Bryce Andrews out of Kenosha. And the Don's Machine Shop number 17, going to make a burn number 1, Jack Hoyer. The Intech number 11 from Frankfort, Indiana, going to go from 3rd, James Turnbull. And the Baldwin Fox number 5, going to go for the 4th starting spot. Swanson in the 47, the driver out of Anaheim, California. And the Physical Medicine Consultants number 47, he'll go from 5th and from 6th. Driver of the Beast number 9 will be Zach Pretorius out of Yorktown, Indiana. course, for more information on all the racing action here at Circle City, circlecityraceway.com. Points, schedule, and more. circlecityraceway.com, powered by My Race Pass. Next Friday night event coming June 12th. In fact, it'll be a good little run of shows here. You got June 12th, Friday night action. June 20th, Saturday night action. The Modifies, the Crown Vics, the Superstocks, and the Hornets will be on track. Open Wheel Night, Midwest Thunder 410, returns on June 27th. Of course, the date you want to have on the calendar, July 27th. NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week presented by K&N Filters. The IMCA Race Saver Sprint Car is going to be on the card that night along with us. The Second Right Guns and Ammo, JDI, Jacob Dietz Incorporated Fire Protection Specialists, CGCPAs, Indy Power Sports, DSA, Indy Custom Stone, all proud supporters of the Circle City Raceway. I want to thank them for their support for weekly racing action here in the Indianapolis area. Cameron LaRose was set to be out front here. We'll go back to green. Field underway, the 9 going to bring him out to the drop of the green flag. The 5 going to work to the outside with the advantage. James Turnbull so far at the front of the field. Takes the ball with Fox Racer number 5 out front here. It will be a battle from second on back. The 13 of Cameron LaRose. Trying to hold on to that second spot, the 9Z, Zach Pretorius. Sitting in third, the 47 of Jake Swanson right now running in fourth. He'll swing down to the inside of the 9, looking for the third spot, throws the slide, got it to the exit turn number 2. So Swanson takes over the third spot. Pretorius not done, tries to go after the 47. Rolls right into his tire tracks though. The 11 of Jack Hoyer had to get on the binders a little bit there. 17, Bryce Andrews continues to round out your running order. Up front, it continues to be the 5 of Turnbull for the outside of run number 2. Jumps up, takes over, and leads the way. Andrews a little bit of problems over in turns at 3 and 4. Gets the shift righted as it's game on to the front of the field. Down to the bottom rolls the 13. The high side rolls the 5. That's going to cost LaRose. Swanson takes her up to the cushion, takes over the second spot, looks for the race lead. He'll have to wait on the car. That'll open the door for the Avanto. It is the doors number 13 to possibly close in and retake that second spot here. Working to the high side of 3 and 4. No dice. They come to the way with the white flag and 1 to go. Elapsed the distance here in sprint car heat race competition. Swanson closing right there. A little tap to the wall in the back straightaway. Going to scrub off speed. Both drivers go inside out through turns 3 and 4. It'll be James Turnbull winning in heat race number 1. Jake Swanson in second. Cameron LaRose in third. Zach Pretorius, Jack Hoyer, and Bryce Andrews unofficially rounding out your field. So Turnbull with the win, Swanson in second, LaRose in third, Pretorius, Hoyer, and Andrews round out heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 set to make its way out. Jaden Rogers in the 14. The Beasley's Railcar Repair entry slated for the pole position. Bo Brandon in the number 21B going to line up outside run number 1. Ricky Lewis, the driver out of Oxnard, California, driver the Physical Medicine Consultants number 41. He'll go from third. Rylan Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana, in the number 1. Slated to go from the 4th starting spot. Chance Crum of the 83C and J.R. Bonesteel out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Set to round out your field in heat race number 3. Track goes under yellow flag conditions. We will get the field fired. Five-star body semi-feature event for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. We'll be up here in just a little bit. 2 more heat races to go here with the sprint cars, including the one on track right now. In 18. Wingless sprint car drivers checking in for action here tonight. Don't forget the non-wing 410s will be on the card all week long during Indiana Midget Week. So it's an open wheel fans dream week of sprint car and midget competition. In Jaden Rogers in the 14, Bo Brandon the 21, Ricky Lewis, Rylan Gray, Chance Crum, J.R. Bonesteel. Coming up to Circle City for the first time in his career, we get after it. Ricky Lewis really having to wait on the car in the exit to number 2. Chance Crum going to try to capitalize in the 83. Crum from 5th, trying to get up to 3rd in the opening lap. He'll have to settle for 4th. Ricky Lewis holds the position. Crum going to throw the slide in the number 83. Answer to the inside from Lewis in the 41. Takes her up across the racetrack. Crum going to try to do the same thing here to the front straightaway. The Pit Logic number 83C. Rolls back into that 4th spot. The Morris Barnes number 41 holds on to 3rd. 21B running in the 2nd spot. Your leader in this one, Jaden Rogers, the BC's road car repair number 14. Starting to open his advantage here. 1.316 seconds. He'll come around this time to cross flags. 4 in, 4 to go. Challenge on the racetrack coming for the 4th spot. Here comes the 1, Rylan Gray. And the Gray Auto Kaiser entry going to take over that spot. 3rd and 4th going to swap around. Gray going to have it. Chance Crum again. Rounding out your top 5. Then it's going to be Bonesteel rounding out your field. Watching on live timing and scoring with MRP, the transponder on Ricky Lewis's number 41 is not working, so it shows him at the back of the field. That's not the case. He's currently running in 3rd and in the hunt for 2nd. Bo Brandon, the 21B, has it. Lewis trying to take it away here. Working on to the far side of the racetrack as the lap coat's going to fly this time. Here comes Lewis across the racetrack. Can't get there fast enough. Barries her off into the cushion. One more lap to try to get one more spot here as Rogers works onto the back straightaway. Jaden nice and smooth in the American Dream Racer number 14. Works through turns 3 and 4. And he'll get the job done here in heat race number 2. Ricky Lewis with the slide job. Does he have it at the line? He does. 41. 2nd at the line. So Jaden Rogers with the win. Ricky Lewis in 2nd. Bo Brandon, Rylan Gray, Chance Crum, and J.R. Bonesteel unofficially rounding out your field. Heat race number 3. 5-star body semi-feature event for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship will be up after this. Caleb Stelzick and Logan Prickett in row number 1, the 66 and the 37, Trey Osborne. The Columbus, Ohio driver in the Hidden Hoof Hall of Farms number 16, going to go from 3rd, Todd Hobson. And the Drew fan number 44, going to go from the 4th starting spot. Noah Whitehouse in the number 21, and Nathan Schmee at a Sydney, New South Wales in the 42 AU. Set to round out your field here in Sprint Car Heat Race number 3. Again, 8 laps the distance here in sprint car heat race competition. Heat race number 3 on track. Caleb Stelzik out of Albuquerque. Logan Priggin, the 37, outside of him. Brackett out of Shelbyville, Indiana. Osborne from Ohio, Hobson from Australia, Whitehouse from Indiana, and another Aussie, Ethan Smee. Lines up at the back of the field, ready to go green this time of the exit at turn number 4. Trey Osborne wasting no time in the 6th, throws the slide through turns 1 and 2. He'll pick off 2 and a shot here. Works her onto the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. Trey Osborne, 3rd to 1st on lap number 1. Not a bad way to start things off for the Hidden Hoof Hall of Farms, number 6. Again, having to peel off of the USAC Gainesville Sprint Car National Championship here in 2026. Unfortunately, a couple of mechanical problems taking him out of contention, but now trying to rebound here on the local level. Makes his way onto the back straightaway, and he is absolutely pulling away so far. Ooh, a little bit of a snafu down the back straightaway. Problems on to the number 44 after that. Right front down, and that's going to bring the caution lights on. And red. As the yellow came out, we got a driver going for a tumble over in turns 1 and 2. Caleb Stelzik, the driver of Albuquerque. So driver up and out of the car and okay. So again, if you haven't gone down behind the grandstands, a lot of merchandise available. Of course, the Indiana Midget Week shirts available while supplies last. The USAC merchandise trailer all the way right in front of the concession stands. So a great way you can go grab you a new t-shirt and maybe some chicken tenders while you're at it. NOS Energy Sampling Station. Get a complimentary can of NOS Energy. You've got Logan Seavey and Mitchell Moles with their merchandise trailer is here as well. Kel Drake, the yellow Sprinter van that is down here. And, of course, 410 Marketing. Kevin Thomas Jr. His merchandise available here this week as well. When you head down to get a KTJ shirt, make sure there is a flyer on the counter you want to check out for a chance to win a trip to the Western World. And what's really cool about that is also a charity drive for Riley's Children's Hospital. So make sure, go down and check that out, and you could get tickets to the Western World, the flight, the hotel, everything that goes along with it. But again, all that information when you go down to the 410 merchandising trailer, again, that's where you can find Kevin Thomas Jr. apparel this week. Of course, if you want to buy your merch, if you're on the broadcast, you can scan the QR code now, and you can purchase your Indiana Midget Week t-shirt. Take you over to usacgear.com, and you can go ahead and purchase your t-shirt from anywhere in the world. Again, the QR code on screen now. Peel back to green. Mentioned Trey Osborne, unfortunately mechanical issues taking him off of the national trail with the United States Auto Club. Last time we saw him, Knoxville Raceway. Sidelined on night number 1, made his way back to Indiana to Paragon. Had a couple of rough goes there, as well as Owasso. Up in the latest round of the Race for the Million and Pavement Sprint Car competition. He was with the Pavement Midgets that night. As the battle for second is on, Whitehouse in the 21, the 37 of Prickett. Those two swapping that position around. Whitehouse takes it away. Prickett falls back to 3rd. Osborne starting to get some momentum over the last couple of rounds. Bloomington with a 6th place finish, and Lincoln Park and Putnamville on the 6th. Walked away with a 7th place run. And right now he is absolutely gone here in heat race competition. That battle for second, though, it is far from over as they come around to the wave of the white flag. Prickett in the boiler up number 37. Moving his line around, top side 3 and 4, bottom side and 1 and 2. Boy, he really had to wait on the car, and that's going to allow the 21 of Whitehouse to start to run away. In the meantime, the 6T humming around to the front straightaway. Trey Osborne, winner in heat race number 3. Whitehouse going to cross in second, Brick in third, and Schmid, final driver on track. Stelzig and Hobson, unfortunately, done in heat race number 3. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated number 6T. Give him a hand, Trey Osborne. Winner in heat race number 3. With that, your 5-star body semi-feature event for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship will begin to make its way out onto the speedway. Eight times around, 4 drivers going to move on. Drake Edwards out of Peoria, Arizona. The great company, Rex Road Racing Speedway Toyota Spike number 40D, going to go for the pole position. Outside, row number 1, Trevor Klein out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Drive the Bellwood Auto Body DC Machine number 55. Second row from the inside, Gunnar Setzer out of Columbus, Indiana. The Midwest 2 Mill Stanton Link Chassis number 43. And next to him is going to be Bradley Cox out of Black Forest, Colorado. The Red Line Performance Roofing number 45. The 35S inside of your next row is going to be Christopher Hartman out of Boulder, Colorado. The Metro Cell, Spike Claxton Power number 35S. And next to him is going to be Drew Sherman out of Phoenix, Arizona. The AME Electrical Massive Light Transportation Spike number 19. The 99K inside of your final row, Robert Carson out of Concord, California. The Yellow K Enterprises entry. And your final starter is scheduled to be Mike Unger out of Madison, Wisconsin. Driver the Denny's Chassis Dyno Services XXX Logger-built Honda number 67U. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for your 5-star bodies semi-feature event here with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. 8 laps, 4 drivers going to move on. The new standard of sprint car body technology is here, engineered with optimized airflow for maximum downforce and increased horsepower, and is available in multiple high-performance material options, so every team can build the right body package for their program. Shop now at 5starbodies.com. Looking to get in the 19 fired here. Real quick, let's check in with Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. I wanted to touch on a few drivers here in our 5-star body semi-feature tonight, starting off with your pole sitter, Drake Edwards. And, of course, Drake Edwards, if you're just joining us on FloRacing, was a DNF in his heat race. Drake told me he thought it was a drivetrain issue. What it actually ended up being was a broken spark plug. So they fired it off during the sprint car heat races, got it running A-OK, and they're good to go here for the semi-feature. Robert Carson, unfortunately, will be a scratch. He told me they broke a belt and it broke a bolt in the brake caliper. He won't rejoin us tonight, but he will be with us on tour tomorrow at Paragon.
Thank you very much. Your front row comprised of the 2 fastest qualifying drivers not locking directly in at a heat race competition, so Edwards, the time will help him to go to the pole position. Klein to his outside as we are past the NOS Energy start can and underway. Edwards going to try to hold the lead here. Goes to the high side through turns 3 and 4. Who's going to have the advantage? Nearly 3 wide on the front straightaway. The 43 down to the bottom. The 55 right through the middle. Klein goes to the outside this time. Sets around the inside. The Link Chassis number 43 going to take over the second spot here as they work into turns 3 and 4. Patiently around the hub of the speedway. Everybody else banging her off the boards here as they work into turns at 1 and 2. Down around the bottom now, they'll shift lines. It will be the 45 riding in the final transfer spot, trying to fend off the charge of Drew Sherman. Sherman running in 5th, and it's going to be Hartman and Unger rounding out your running order. Greg mentioned before the drop of the green flag, Carson unfortunately done here tonight. The great company, number 40D. Starting to pull away, 0.859 seconds for the Peoria, Arizona racer. Trying to race into his 8th career Indiana Midweek feature event. He has gone to victory lane a couple of times this season outside of USAC national competition. May 30th at Southern Illinois and Angel Park with the Badger Series on May 31st. Getting his momentum built up here in your 5-star body semi-feature event. 6 in, next time around, white flag coming. Sets are still holding on to second. Trevor Klein in the 55 continued to run in 3rd. Still looking for a win in 2026. Got one last year at Jacksonville with the Extreme Series. 45. Bradley Cox still with the final transfer spot as your leader works their turns 3 and 4 one last time. Checkered flag and a drop on Drake Edwards. He'll move on to your feature event here this evening. Second will go to Gunnar Setzer, Trevor Klein, and Bradley Cox. Will make his first A-feature appearance in Indiana Midweek competition with the final transfer spot. So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, at Peoria, Arizona, the great company, Raceway Racing Speedway Toyota Spike number 40D. Give him a hand, Drake Edwards. Edwards on to the show. Gunnar Setzer likewise, along with Trevor Klein and Bradley Cox. Those are your 4 transferring drivers into your feature event. So a little bit of moisture going to be dropped on the racing surface here before we roll into our feature event. So as they work some moisture down onto the speedway, we're going to take a quick break here on the FloRacing on Prime broadcast. We'll be back to Circle City.
I'm Aiden Reinbold, and you're watching USAC on FloRacing.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
The new Dirt Draft app. Faster, sharper, built to win. New lock windows and predictive contests. More ways to play, more ways to win. Lock in your drivers, watch the action, and become a fantasy champion. Every lap, every restart, every last lap slide job that moves you up the leaderboard. The green flag just dropped on the all-new Dirt Draft. Download it now at dirtdraft.com. Draft your team and get in the race.
Something has awakened. The horsepower and torque you always knew was there, just waiting to make every drive thrilling. Track tested, off-road proven, performance for everything you drive. Drive better with K&N.
When you choose more, you save more. From just $229 a month at Lou Fuse Kia Moline, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the Quad Cities. During the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, save on K4s just $229 a month. Drive a new Sportage, $249 a month, and new Sorrentos, $309 a month. Or take home both with 0% financing. It's the Choose More, Save More sales event at Lou Fuse Kia Moline, home of the 200,000-mile warranty. Lou Fuse, we are family.
Can I get 4 guavas? No, the big ones. Thanks.
Ignite your taste with new NOS Energy Grand Prix Guava. Buy it now at a store near you.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Race Aid supports USAC racers and their families in times of need.
Your generosity fuels our recovery.
Your donations help us get back on track.
And scan the QR code to donate today.
Donate today.
Welcome back to the broadcast on Flow on Prime this evening, night number 1 of Indiana Midget Week, and we are live from Circle City Raceway, just on the southeast corner of the Indianapolis metropolitan area. Cars starting to make their way into the staging lane, so that means it's almost time for tonight's feature event. Round 3 of the 2026 season, round 1 of Indiana Midget Week. The winner tonight walks away with $5,000, and it begins the march to see who's going to walk away with that $15,000 Indiana Midget Week championship check. Your lineup for tonight's main event set to roll to the green like this. From the pole, the driver to Belpre, Ohio, driver of the Odell Motorsports, Odell Trucking Pro Marine. Easy Dock number 1 is going to be Zach Weigel. Outside your front row, the Brick and Reese at Canyon, Texas, the Sierra Towing and Crushing, Dumas Iron and Metal Speedway Link chassis number 20Q. Second row for the inside is going to be Kel Drake out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. The RMS and Viral Pass Speedway Toyota Spike number 4. Next to him in 57, it'll be Logan Seavey out of Southern California. The Indy Power Sports, Desnudo Organic Tequila, Prime 47, number 57. Fifth starting spot, Justin Grant out of Ione, California. The NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Mobile 1, number 87. And outside of him will be the Palme Motorsports. Bepley and Henshaw Wrecker Service. Ripper number 71M of the Shark, Carter Sarth. Next row for the inside, Hayden Reinbold. He's out of Gilbert, Arizona. The AME Electrical Jugo Superfoods Reinbold Development Incorporated, number 19AZ. And for the 8th starting spot, it'll be Jacob Denny of the Galloway, Ohio. The JBL TRD Mobile 1, number 67. Mac Leopard out of Beaver Creek, Ohio. The Great Company, Mulch Express of Wisconsin, number 40L. He'll roll from 9th and from 10th. It'll be Jacob Boxell at Zanesville, Indiana. The Middle Ed 1 Performance Products, AcroSeal, AcroLube, number 54. Row 6, inside line, Drake Edwards out of Peoria, Arizona. The Great Company, Rex Road Racing, Spike Speedway, number 40D. And next to him, from the 12th starting spot, will be Trevor Klein. Klein out of Mooresville, North Carolina. The Bellwood Auto Body DC Machine, Stanton Spike, number 55. The Kevin Arnold owned Midwest 2 Mills, Akira Starsound, number 43 at Gunnar Setzer. He'll go from the 13th starting spot. From 14th, it'll be Kevin Thomas Jr. to Coleman, Alabama. The Purple Heart Foundation, Middle Ed 1 AcroSeal, Link Chassis, number 14. Next row for the inside, Cannon McIntosh out of Bixby, Oklahoma. The Mobile 1 TRD Curb Records, number 71K. And next to him, you'll find Colton Robinson out of Titusville, Florida. The Precise Tooling Solutions TRD Mobile 1, number 67K. The 7TX inside of your next row, Kyle Jones out of Kennedale, Texas. The England Machine and Tool, EA Stealth Spike High Performance Lubricant, Schoenfeld, number 7TX. And outside of him in 97, going to be Gavin Miller. Miller out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Sound Gear TRD Mobile 1 Curb Records entry. 19 starter is Rylan Gray. Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana. The Ace Corporation Gray Autolink Chassis, number 81G. And next to him, the 2ND, Matt Sherrill out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. The Second Opinion Auto, H&H Automotive Machine, Stanton Link Chassis, number 2. The 98K from the 21st starting spot is Brandon Carr out of Sheffield, United Kingdom. The J. Davis Scrap Metal Mobile 1 Toyota, number 98. And next to him, the 19M out of Mooresville, North Carolina. The Joyous Seating Walker Filtration, a ride, number 19M. That is Little Bundy. It's Ethan Mitchell. Final row for the inside, it's going to be Adam Taylor to Wheatfield, Indiana. The Horizon Carpentry, Mongo Crane, Mac Electric, number 7C. And your final starter is set to be Bradley Cox out of Black Forest, Colorado. The Red Line Performance Roofing, REM Motorsports, Stanton Link Chassis, number 45. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for round number 1 of Indiana Midweek here with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Drivers make their way out to the Speedway, and Drake has one to watch.
We certainly do have one to watch, Brian, but before we get into that, remember there still is time to play in a Dirt Draft lobby. If you head to the Dirt Draft app, make sure to sign up for the Rookie League lobby, but you got to hurry if you want to play because that locks in when the green flag drops here tonight at Circle City. Now on to our Dirt Draft one to watch. I'm keeping my eye on the driver rolling from the inside of row number 2 in the 3rd starting spot. That, of course, is the RMS Racing number 4 of Cale Drake. Earlier today in Learn Lab qualifying, he goes 5th fastest on the field. It was a fairly uneventful heat race for Cale, but he did exactly what he needed to do, locking himself into the feature event. Let's not forget, Cale Drake is the defending Indiana Midweek champion. As a matter of fact, he's the defending winner of this event here at Circle City, getting the win last year. We've talked about it a few times on the broadcast, but this is a new pairing for 2026 between Cale Drake and RMS Racing. Of course, Cale last year with Keith Kunz, Kerr Baggagini coming over to RMS this year. And even from our last rounds in April out at the Kokomo Speedway, you could see some improvement from Cale and this RMS Racing crew. Had a big weekend over in Macon, was able to get the win with the Power Eye National Series, and as a matter of fact, took the points lead in that series as well. And I was talking to Dave Eastep, car owner for Cale Drake, and he told me Lacey Doyle, the crew chief, and Cale are just gelling so well together right now. It's really fun to watch for him. It's really fun for us to watch as race fans too. We'll see if Cale Drake can get his title defense started off right here at Circle City. He rolls from the inside of row number 2.
Thank you very much. Field firing around the Circle City Raceway. Let drivers run some of the moisture in that was laid down. Just a light sprinkling of water before the drivers made their way out. Again, Zach Weigel in the 1, going to bring him down to the drop of the green flag, picking up a win earlier in the month of May during the Circle City Salute and USAC D2 Midget competition here at Circle City. 20Q lining up next to him. A couple of wins up at Port City back on June 16th, or excuse me, back earlier in June. Stock non-wing and outlaw non-wing competition. In fact, that was back on June 6th. My apologies. 16th be next week. Cale Drake in the 4. Drake's one to watch. Again, picking up the Night 2 victory at Macon in Power Ride competition, the 57 of Logan Seavey. 3-time winner this season. Midget win back in preliminary night competition during the Chillable Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink. Justin Graham, the 87, winner of the Kokomo Grand Prix. 54th Indiana Midweek start. A 7th last year, his best run in Indiana Midweek competition here at Circle City. Winner here with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship in September of last year. 71M of Carter Sarf. 4 times now a Learn Lab Quick qualifier. Went to Victory Lane at I-44 down in Oklahoma City in Power Ride competition. That track now under the stewardship of Terry Maddox, taken over here in 2026. Reinbold and Denny, Leopard, then Boxell, your top 10 starters. Edwards and Klein, Setzer, then KTJ, McIntosh, then Robinson, Jones, then Miller, Gray, then Sherrill, Carr, Mitchell, Taylor, and Cox. Round out your lineup. Field making their way onto the back straightaway from side by side to 4 wide. Ladies and gentlemen, our drivers, salute to you for coming out to Circle City here tonight. Race fans, light up them cell phones and rise to your feet. It's time to make some noise for the cars and the mighty driving stars of the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Field side by side, ready to get after it. It is time to sit back, relax, and enjoy 30 trips around the Circle City Raceway, because race fans, this is what you save your lunch money for. To the green on night number 1 of Indiana Midget Week. They're going to dash onto the back straightway. Who will have the advantage on lap number 1? Working down to the bottom side, your Pulse are going to come around with it. Will be the 1. Zach Weigel leading the way. Challenge coming to the outside here as they work onto the back straightway. Reese right there in the hunt in the 20Q. The Sierra towing and crushing entry on the high side by side to the start-finish line. Reese going to have it by 0.042 seconds. Reese leads the way onto the far side of the Circle City Raceway. Zach Weigel running in second. Drake in third. Justin Grant, Logan Seavey was your top 5 last time around the start-finish line. Justin Grant setting sights on Drake for the third spot here. He'll pull it up across the nose of the number 4, and he's got it onto the back straightway. Grant up into third, Drake back to 4th. Seavey right there in the hunt in the 57, tries the inside. No dice as they work into turns at 1 and 2. In the meantime, battle for the race lead once again. Weigel tries the inside on Reese. They got side by side, wasn't able to get by though. They'll run right in each other's tire tracks as they work through turns 3 and 4. But the battle from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, they are all under a blanket right now as they work onto the back straightaway. Drake in that 4th spot. Denny running in 5th. Seavey running in 6th. Sarf, Reinbold all right there as they work into turns 3 and 4. The EnviroFab number 4 so far able to fend off the mob here, but for how long? The JBL number 67 continuing to apply pressure down to the inside line as they work into turns 3 and 4. Drake goes down and takes the line, but he swings it up, and the JBL number 67 is there to capitalize. They'll come to the line, and Jacob Denny going to take that position over. In the meantime, for the race lead, here comes the 1 with a slide job through turns 3 and 4. Weigel, Reese going at it. Break it back to the inside. Going to retake it as they work into turns 1 and 2. 8 laps completed, 30 the distance, and the battle at the front of the field back underway again. Reese, Zach Weigel down to the bottom. Last time the slide, this time trying the inside. The Odell Trucking link number 1 still rides in that 2nd spot. It's still the 20Q in command as they work onto the far side of the Circle City Raceway. Reese out of Canyon, Texas, now going to get the elbows up. He saw the challenge, he fought back, and he's able to hold on to it. His advantage, 0.645 seconds right now. Trying to become a first-time winner in USAC National Midget competition. So far, off to a good start, but he's got a ways to go. Clicking off lap number 11, again 30 the distance. Still 0.6 of a second to the good over Weigel. Grant in the meantime running in the third spot. Denny running in fourth. Dale Drake, Logan Seavey, the battle on the track right now. That'll be for the 6th and the 7th position. The 4 to the outside, 57 down to the bottom. Drake has the advantage. Here we go for the third spot. Jacob Denny has reeled in Justin Grant. Grant had gotten away from him a little bit. Now they're side by side onto the front straightaway. Grant from 5th runs in the third spot. Denny from the 8th starting position running in 4th. Leaders in the meantime, they roll into traffic. Side by side in front of your leader. Brecken Reese trying to have a career moment here tonight. If he can be smooth through traffic, going to work on the 7. He will clear him as well as the 45 as they work through turns 3 and 4. A trio of lap cars and a straightaway between himself and Zach Weigel. 1.369 seconds. Taylor bounces her off of the wall, gets it back rolling straight here. We avoid the caution as your leader slides himself through turns 3 and 4. Battle for third continuing. Justin Grant, Jacob Denny. Grant with the advantage. Denny still chasing. Weigel held up in traffic. Will try to thread the needle through turns 3 and 4. He's got one. Couldn't get by the other one. Oh, red lights come on. We got one on his side. Scratch that. We'll go yellow. That battle for third just became the caution. The 87 of Justin Grant, the 67 of Jacob Denny. So the JBL number 67 getting upside down over in turns 3 and 4. Replay coming up on the FloRacing broadcast. Get a look at just what happened. This was the fight for the 3rd and 4th positions. Grant, over the cushion, launched the car back down and slow. The 67 with no time to react as we get a better look at it here. Again, Grant got her up on the cushion, got the car upset. And at that point, Denny, he was already committed to the slide and had no way of getting that thing woed up. Very, very tough break for the 67. What a lead for Brecken Reese. The caution takes that away. See if he can hold off Weigel here in the restart, but right now let's check in with Drake.
Ryan, I got to look at Justin Grant's car. A lot of front end damage there. It looks like the front axle is bent. Wouldn't be surprised if there's maybe even a little bit of frame damage to that Nossing Drink 87, and a lot of fluid pouring from underneath of that race car, steam raising up near the hood area as well. Jacob Denny, surprisingly, looks like he'll be able to continue on. Now, Brian, I can't see the right front corner of that race car from my position on the infield of turn number 3, but nonetheless, Jacob Denny able to continue on. Of course, that's your current points leader with the Nossing Drink USAC National Midget Championship as Justin Grant and the 87 machine head pit side.
So the two drivers that were in victory lane at Kokomo to start off the season make contact. Denny able to continue on. So Brecken Reese leading, Zach Weigel in second. So again, Brecken Reese leading, Zach Weigel in second, Justin Grant in third, or was third rather. Jacob Denny was fourth. Hayden Reinbold now going to take over the third spot. Logan Seavey in fourth. Gale Drake in fifth, Carter Sarf in sixth, Kevin Thomas Jr. in seventh, Jacob Boxell in eighth, Drake Edwards in ninth, and Mac Leopard now should be your top 10. Colton Robinson 11, Trevor Klein in 12th, Gunnar Setzer in 13th. 14th, Kyle Jones. 15th should be Cannon McIntosh, Brandon Carr, Gavin Miller, Matt Sherrill, Bradley Cox, and Ethan Mitchell. Should make up your top 20 now. Taylor in the 7, and then the 67. Again, Jacob Denny, who is the driver that went on his side over in turns 3 and 4 after the contact with Grant. Lines up at the back of the field. Grant able to return. The NOS Energy CB Industries number 87. He'll drop to the tail end of the running order. "16 laps completed, 30 the distance." Single file through the NOS Energy start can. Leader going to bring him all the way to the bottom side. Exit turn number 4. We're back underway. Battle for the second spot. Here comes the 19, Reinbold. After Weigel here on the restart, the 57 to Logan Seavey. Likewise, he's going to try the middle group through turns 3 and 4. Coming around, it's going to be the 20Q of Breckenreese. Reinbold right there in the second spot. Seavey in the meantime up into third. Weigel getting shuffled back to fourth as they make their way down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Here comes the 19, working all the way down to the hub of the speedway. Breckenreese trying to let her eat on the outside. New leader onto the back straightaway. Reinbold had it for a moment. Breckenreese going to try to come back after him here to the front straightaway. Denied. The 19's going to take over. Hayden Reinbold trying to win in his second USAC National Touring Division here in 2026. Got the win in the Silver Crown at the Salt City 100 back on May 9th. Now trying to go to victory lane here tonight at Circle City with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Reese into the wall, exit turn number 2, gets it rolling and protects the line, drops to the deck immediately to block the charge of Logan Seavey. Caution, couple of cars tangled over in turn number 2. That is the 45 of Cox and the 7 of Taylor. A couple of drivers at the back of the field coming together. The 70 and the 45. They were being shown in the 22nd and 23rd positions. Hayden Reinbold patiently around the bottom of the restart. Moves up into the race lead from the 7th starting position. Breckenreese, who led from lap 2 to lap 15, trying to hold on to second a couple of times exiting turn number 2. Got up and tapped the wall. Opened the door for Logan Seavey. The 57 not able to make the charge, though. Seavey running in third. Weigel on the restart was second. Gets slipped back to fourth. Sarf, KTJ, Cale Drake, Jacob Boxell, Mac Leopard, Gunnar Setzer. That's your top 10. 10-lap dash to the finish. Hayden Reinbold has that car glued all the way to the infield tires. Logan Seavey trying to grab second. Breckenreese trying to hold on to it. The Sierra Towing and Crushing number 20Q works the outside. Has it by a nose at the line. Going to retake it onto the back straightaway. Seavey still right there in third. Breckenreese, one of only a few drivers still all the way up on the cushion at both sides of the speedway, and that's going to cost him. The 57 going to come around. Logan Seavey takes over the second spot. Breckenreese not done on the outside, trying to retake it. Still running in third, though. Goes back to the cushion over in turns 3 and 4. Kevin Thomas Jr., another driver working the top shelf here. He'll come around in pursuit of the 71 Emma Carter Sarf. He'll run in the 6th spot. Sarf right now running at your top 5. Again, a tap of the concrete from the 20Q, and he's going to vacate the top and go down to the bottom. Everybody working middle to bottom for the most part. A couple of drivers, one driver, in fact, the only one working the top side to turns 3 and 4, and that was the 67K of Colton Robinson, trying to diamond his way through the field here as we go back up front to Hayden Reinbold. His advantage, 1.867 seconds last time around. They're 3 wide for the 4th spot. Kevin Thomas Jr. through the middle, trying to pick his way forward as the laps wind down. 4 to go this time. KTJ coming after the 20Q. He'll grab the 3rd spot. Brecken Reese back to 4th. Zach Weigel trying to get by him. Cale Drake also letting that thing eat. Works top into 3. He'll try to turn it down and diamond across the racetrack. Exit turn number 4. The waters will part, and he will be right there in the mix. Cale Drake, Zach Weigel, Brecken Reese, Carter Sarf, Jacob Boxell, they're all right there. Absolutely duking it out as your leader is going to come around this time to the wave of the white flag and 1 to go. All but putting around the bottom side of the speedway. He'll come around to the wave of the white flag. 2025, he went to victory lane for the first time of this series during 4 Crown at Eldora Speedway. Tonight, he's going back for the first time at Circle City. Hayden Reinbold wins with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Logan Seavey in 2nd, Kevin Thomas Jr. in 3rd, Zach Weigel and Brecken Reese unofficially your top 5 here tonight at Circle City. Last week at Red Hill, with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship, it was his teammate, Mitchell Moles, who swept both nights of competition. Tonight, it's his turn in the midgets. The Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, AME Electrical, Jugo Superfoods, Reinbold Development number 19 AZ gets his first score of the season in USAC National Midget Competition, his 2nd in his career, and now a winner in Midget and Silver Crown competition in 2026. Sprint cars going to make their way out to the speedway. Our victory lane interview going to take place outside of turn number 4. Sprint cars making their way out. If you are making your way out of the grandstands, please be safe. Weather is starting to move into the Indianapolis area, so please be careful on your way home. As your winner is going to make his way down into victory lane here tonight. And he is going to crawl up top. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Hayden Reinbold in the 19. Fireworks outside of turn number 2 to celebrate here tonight. And Hayden Reinbold going to get the hardware, and Christy is going to get a word with our winner.
How about it for Hayden Reinbold picking up his 2nd career victory with the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series just a few weeks ago. Picked up his first win with the USAC Silver Crown Series as well. So Hayden, working your way up from 7th, how long did it take you to get that bottom lane going?
Yeah, I started running like bottom middle, and everyone was like sliding themselves 1 and 2, and I could get the runoff 2 off them. And yeah, the car was super good. Jacob and my dad did a really good job tonight, and Bo and Porterhouse and the other Mitchell are working super hard. And yeah, enough. And yeah.
Made your way up through the field from 7th, and then obviously able to really stretch out that lead once you got there. How did things change after that restart?
Yeah, it started getting super slick, and I was kind of getting nervous because the bottom was really good, and then the whole track started to slow down, and I didn't know if I had to move up, move middle, But so I started hitting their tires towards the end there. But yeah, just super thankful.
Reinbold picks up night number 1 of USAC NOS Energy Drink Indiana Midget Week here at Circle City Raceway. Reinbold Underwood Motorsports has won in each of the 3 USAC national divisions so far in 2026. A pretty impressive feat.
Indeed, thank you very much. As we are trying to outrun Mother Nature now, it is starting to head this way. So we'll see if we can get the sprint cars in. They have 25 laps. James Turnbull, Jaden Rogers, run number 1. Trey Osborne, Jake Swanson, run number 2. Ricky Lewis, Noah Whitehouse, run number 3. Cameron LaRose, Bo Brandon, run number 4. Logan Prickett, Zach Pretorius, run number 5. Rylan Gray, Nathan Schmean, run number 6. Jack Hoyer, Chance Crumman, run number 7. Caleb Stelzig and Bryce Andrews, run number 8. J.R. Bonesteel and Todd Hobson in row number 9. Mason. To the green here with the sprint cars. See if we can get this one in for Mother Nature. It's going to be the 14 coming around to lead lap number 1. Jaden Rogers. Turnbull second, Jake Swanson. Ooh, Swanson taps the concrete at the exit to number 2. Had a run for the second spot, nearly drops to 5th. Trey Osborne in the meantime, working around the bottom. Caution as the rain arrives. And it will start to come down. Please be very, very careful on your way out of the grandstands. Please be very careful. We know it is raining, but please take your time. We do not want you to get hurt. Again, please be very, very careful on your way out of the grandstands. Watching the radar and looked like we were going to get one in possibly for the sprint cars, unfortunately. Built up and is absolutely dropping.